Brushmore. It's a quiet town in southern Ustalav on the banks of Lake Incarthen. Hardly a memorable thing about it up until recently. The city's citadel fell silent. The guards all disappeared. Then, of course, there was that business at the asylum. The Count's men showed back up. They're an odd bunch, enforcers and performers. Researchers, magical scholars. And the new man with them, too. They were sent in there by the Count, though he's disappeared these days, too. He abdicated his throne, left his manor atop the hill. Who knows what fate Rushmore will face now? But I have a feeling these folk have a steady hand in it.
Welcome back. Last week we sang a lot. It was our musical episode. I hope you watched it because it was a lot of fun. We fought Rumatri. She made us sing, but we fought back because we didn't like that.
She fought back.
Yeah.
The rest of you just sang.
And then we went downstairs, found the image of... I'm already forgetting names. Numera.
It's almost like you have no personal connection to these people, and you just
I have no idea who they are.
Dragged into this.
Where am I?
I just want to go home.
Yeah, we ended up finding the Count Lau's grandmother's ghost, Numera. I am really out of it right now. This is not going well.
This
we
bodes
banished her to
well.
the Shadow Realm. And
Shadow Realm.
Shadow
The
Realm.
Shadow Realm.
Come on,
Dedicated
guys, we're
movie.
going to Shadow Realm.
What if we kissed him?
I'm
JK.
And
I'm just
Unless-
thinking about the lead up to the attic turtles. The attic turtles is all I'm really thinking about right now.
Like the Kubrick stare.
A lot was learned about your amnesia. The state the four of you found yourselves in.
It's
when
not
first
amnesia.
You woke. It's not, I suppose, technically, amnesia. You learned that your minds were traded, given away as an offering to this enigmatic mad poet, somewhere seemingly in entirely another realm. You were given up like you were nothing. And, perhaps more interestingly, the more we learn, the more it seems that everything Melisen told Cammy was true.
The second time.
The second time.
The second time
When
she
she
told
came.
me.
When she opened it. But as we begin our adventures today, handling the stress of these circumstances as well as one could be expected to.
I think Colby needs an award for being unshaken.
I got a will.
That
We're
is-
fighting
that
a
was my
ghost.
reward.
And he's like,
climbed
chill.
the stairs up to the attic of Iris Hill, the very top of the Lowell's estate, where MD last week had heard strange sounds. Sounds echoed again by the spirit of Namira that confronted you down in the library below. Up in the attic, it is dark. It is dusty, and clutter fills near to the eaves of the roof itself. Boxes, barrels, trinkets left forgotten. Those mostly not even worthy of being aimlessly collected among the shelves and surfaces of the manor below. But too, there is movement. There is scuttling and scattering of small, palm-sized creatures you've seen throughout this manor now several times. Round, insectile things. And before I go any further than that, let us reintroduce our party, and as we do, tell me what it is you're doing as you ascend up into the attic. I think we haven't started here in a bit.
Okay, I'm Kevin. I play easy. I lost a lot of blood. I'm just a normal human bard trying to get through this terrible day, and I'm just looking around, really cautious and scared. We're going back to this spooky, ghosty place. Okay.
Searching, it sounds like.
Yes.
Keeping your eyes open. Fair.
I'm Sully. I play Cammy, the itty bitty gnomish witch, who is looking for the turtles in the walls.
Also,
But not looking very hard. More just thinking about there's turtles in the walls. I'm recalling knowledge.
thinking hard.
Howdy, I'm Derp, and I play Trey, the fairly tall, about 6'4"-ish frontline hobgoblin fighter with his football-shaped helmet on, spear at the ready with a homebrew thing that we're doing that lets me start combat with a reaction.
This is an exploration activity that I suppose on guard makes sense, which means that even if you are surprised, you will have your reaction on the first round of combat before your initiative has come.
Hello, I'm Colby. I am playing MD, our 6'8", full-blooded orcish rogue.
Just a little greener, just a little taller.
Just a little
Every
greener, just a little
day.
taller, a little less armor. And I'm currently on edge, keeping an eye out for any danger. I'm seeking, not scouting.
Seeking as well.
I'm Marcus. I play Marius, the Dwarven Ghoul Ranger and complete fumbler of intros.
Did your best.
Just unlock that title.
Marius is really trying to scan the shadows and pay attention to what's going on. Still cautiously curious about these now insect turtles. So I think I'm scouting.
All right. Keeping alert in case of dangers. And I, AJ, Squiddish, whatever you want to call me, the GM for this Strange Aeons adventure, and this is the current stress levels of the party. Blue to red, going around the table. What would be, I suppose, clockwise for me doesn't really help you because that's not really how the cameras are laid out. This here, measuring how well their
They
minds.
can see our colors right here.
That's true. There's the colors on the bottoms of the microphones.
Doesn't help for the people on the podcast.
It doesn't help in the podcast. Measuring
I'm green.
how well they can't see the stress meter anyway. Measuring how
I'm
well
green and I have 4.
their minds are coping with the horrors they have faced. As you delved deep into Thrushmore to face down the cult you were once a part of, that it sounds you once near ran, alongside Melisen and the rest of your once friends, you have seen things. Things that are difficult to comprehend, things that are hard to come to terms with, things that perhaps normal mortal minds weren't ever intended to meet. As this fills, the beads get darker, the situation gets worse. Instinct takes over. And for some of us, we have already caved in to some of our basal fears, or been emboldened by the experiences.
I got a permanent buff.
Why you gotta bring that up every time we talk about this system?
The three of you that are seeking, roll me perception checks. 2 that are seeking, sorry. So you're scouting, not you, Marius.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I
Doesn't
missed
matter.
It was on 22.
Oof.
Total of I rolled an 18 on the die, so it's a total of a 32.
32 is really solid.
14 on the die, plus 13, 27.
Both are great. Looking through the dark light of the attic here, easy, you have some difficulty seeing far beyond the glow emanating from the pale white flames flickering across now most of your number. The curse that you all bear from your previous encounters with the spirit that you're now seeking back in its lair. You see the dust hang heavy in the air, and you see these creatures scuttle around. Most of them round, almost inflated, engorged on these insectile, beetle-like legs as they dart away from the light approaching up the stairs. And MD, with your result, you notice that a few among their number are somewhat different. Some of them are much flatter. One in particular, visibly, its body almost completely flattened to the ground, but the shape, position of its legs, all the same. It's clearly the same creature, but it looks deflated. As you take a look at these, more of them than you've seen before, scattering to hide in the crevices amongst the attic as you approach, the two of you realize what they are. They are ticks. Huge, fist-sized ticks that infest the walls of the Lowell's Manor.
Everything here sucks blood.
That's so gross.
This whole house needs to be burned down.
Are you telling me you don't want to hear the scuttling of a crab-sized tick?
They are big enough, and there are enough of them that the quiet scratching of their legs on the wooden floor is, in fact, audible. The only sound echoing through this abandoned attic, save for the soft, errant moans punctuating the space. Sounds that all of you can now relate back to your encounters with Namir.
Alright then.
Those are ugly turtles.
Let's deal with the spirits so we can leave this place.
Yeah, when we're done with the manor, we can just burn it down.
Agreed.
Yeah. That sounds like a better and better idea.
Make me a nature check, Cammy.
Oh.
And they are
Is
ticks.
it my baby turtle tick? It's a 10 on the die, so it's a 22.
22. All right.
What do you know about ticks?
The ticks
ticks?
that you see here are large, terrifyingly so. Uncomfortably so, and even just watching them move turns your stomach somewhat. But even a tick the size of the palm of your hand is no real danger to the group of you. Even a group of them. They would be annoying at best, but fairly easily flattened. As Easy so quickly pointed out, many of the rituals conducted within these manors, within the manor, have dealt in great amounts of blood. Blood that the drawing and hoarding of which seems to have attracted other, more mundane visitors.
Ticks.
Well, I guess you kind of get pests like that when you're doing a lot of blood death rituals for your doomsday cult, so...
Are you saying this is our fault?
Probably not the ticks, no.
It's kind of like a cause-effect sort of thing.
So it's our fault. Trey, do you want to take a
yeah.
point?
Might as well.
You're better at dealing with ghosts than I am.
And I'll start walking towards wherever the wailing's coming from.
Trey takes the lead as the group of you make your way through the dim space. The attic expands over near the whole of the main manor building, covering the main hall and both of the wings. And as you move through all of this discarded refuse, pointless collection, you come around a corner with these moans and quiet, almost sobbing sounds start to get louder and nearer before you see her. A figure that you have now met several times before, but never once properly in the flesh. Back in the farthest corner, the deepest darkness of the attic, as the light of your flames casts her into view, is the woman herself. Amira Lowell's, hunched, near curled, in an empty space, cleared. You can see the scratches on the ground, the grooves, and the dust moved, as most of the larger goods have been pushed away from this area to give her space. Empty, blank, forgotten space, where she simply stands. She doesn't do much of anything. She's standing there, aimless, no focus. Turns at the approach of your footsteps and your light, but makes no move towards you. No change in her demeanor, no words come forth. Still just these errant moans, not even seeming to emanate from her own mouth, so much as just the area around her.
And she's fleshy.
She is fleshy. She's corporeal. She looks like a woman, elderly, certain, but not even undead.
Oh.
Tentacles and all. Like exactly how we seen the spirits.
Without the tentacles. The
Oh.
same dress and veil that you've witnessed, though the spirit had often appeared to you without the tentacles before they had emerged, so it would be unwise to assume that means they aren't present, but you don't see them for now.
Good evening. Nice to finally meet you.
Who are you?
Friends of the Count. We heard you were trapped up here. Immediately switching to lying when I can tell she's not acting the same.
Her demeanor is immediately markedly different. She seems to be overwhelmed by confusion. She looks at you as if she is the one who is lost here. Before responding, the Count, my husband, our son.
Count Lowell's.
They're all loud.
I believe it would be your
Grandson?
son. Sorry.
Is he doing okay? Is he well?
To my knowledge, yes. It's been a few days since we've seen him.
Her head twitches and jerks a bit to one side than the other as her eyes mash themselves shut, almost as if in a flash of brief pain, before she immediately just returns. Nothing had happened.
As they're talking, I'm gonna move up as well. I'm gonna be north of Trey, on the other side of that crate, so I get a better view of her.
I've heard there's some sickness. That's what the Pharasmins told us. A sickness in Thrushmore that they've come to cleanse.
That's part of what we're helping with.
You don't strike me as Pharasmins.
No, we're hired. We're helping.
And again, her head twists and jerks. She closes her eyes. A strange reaction to an unknown, unseen stimulus.
I'll step slightly closer, just one square forward. And be, are you okay, ma'am? Purposely getting myself within spear range. Just in case.
She doesn't still react, not clearly.
Are you sure you shouldn't sit down?
Who sent you here? It wasn't the Pharasmins. They wouldn't reach outside the clergy, not for something as dire as this. You're no friends of my husband's or my son's or my grandchild's. Who are you? Why do you look familiar?
You're not wrong. The Pharasmins didn't send us. Winter, a Pharasmin, sent us.
We're also not friends.
I don't.
Co-workers.
Sold off.
I don't know this name.
She's a Pharasmin.
No, you. And she looks at Marcus, and for a moment you see a strange clarity in her face. She holds still. This errant twitching stops. You've seen it. You've been there.
Seen what? Been where?
You've felt its touch. You have heard its name. It's inside you. I can see it.
Zamindor?
And she slowly starts to grin. Are you the Harbinger?
I have no idea.
And again, she closes her eyes and starts these twitches, these writhing motions now racking her whole body beyond just her head as it looks as if her body starts to tweak, almost glitching out of reality for a moment. You see briefly an image of her, spectral, phantasmal, separate, shuddering in different, odd directions as she seems to near rend into. When she opens her eyes again, there is nothing there but a blank, pale facade. You see the waist of her gown bulge and writhe as tentacles start to emerge.
Put her down.
I need you to roll initiative. Marius.
18 on the die plus 16
Way
for
over here.
34.
Yeah, he's gonna be way over there. You got big numbers.
Big number.
I think most of us have big
He's a
numbers.
big number
MD.
boy.
I'll roll an 11 on the die, so plus 14.
And remember,
is-
Marius is scouting, so everybody gets a +1.
Cool, I rolled an 11 on the die, plus 14 plus 1 is a 26.
26.
35.
30. I got a 16 on the die.
Cam.
16 on the die, 31.
Because I actually don't get scouting.
Right, you have your own.
Fighter thing.
I have a 2 on the die. Plus 13, 15.
I love
good.
the squelching.
You're spooked.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the ticks.
I thought we were going to talk.
What was your total, Easy?
15.
It would be 16
You
with
had
the plus
25?
1, right?
Yes.
Oh, 16, yeah.
Yeah.
26. Oh, yeah, 20.
Well,
As she twitches, as these tentacles emerge, you see these pale tendrils. Now in the flesh, corporeal, solid, real. These are a true part of her form, as much as her skin or her face. As this takes hold of her, you are quick to react. Marius, quicker than most.
which square is she specifically in?
Let's go ahead.
We've already seen her a couple times, maybe 3 times for easy, and she's been a bit of a pain. And I'm kind of getting tired of people saying I'm the harbinger of Zamindor or whatever. It's starting to sound weird, and they won't tell me anything about it. So hunt prey, and at this point, I'm just like, I don't know what she's gonna do. I just want to get this over with. So arrows. So 14 on the die plus 16, 30.
30. All right, solid. Now, when you had faced her several times before, most of your attacks had been not useless, but ineffective. With a 30, you are going to hit, and your arrow is going to find a mark. It's going to hit and bury itself in her flesh as effectively as it would any man.
Great. That's 9 damage.
All right.
Another. 15 plus 13 for 28.
28 will also hit.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's max damage. Yeah. So 15.
Blink, blink.
Good pair of shots, one action left.
That's going to miss, probably. That's a 2 plus 11 for
Even
13.
with your dark vision, the dim light of the attic with all the clutter, the third one will go wide, bringing us to Canon.
Okay.
Is it time?
Is it time? Do we just go right for it?
You have your gun locked and loaded.
I mean,
Pull that trigger.
now think about it. Like, Malesen's still in the building.
She takes 2 arrows, thud into her, and her body clearly reacts to them, but she does not slow.
Okay. I got some maintenance to do this turn anyways. First things first, I gotta give my boy Trey a pat on the back, say, "You look nice today. You're gonna do great out there." Anyways, you're stoked.
What does Stoke do?
Stoked is gonna give him a bonus to his damage, which is
Plus
now
3.
yeah, which brings your full damage up to like
I got a flat plus 10.
yeah, right?
Fighter things.
Yes.
It could be a barbarian with like a plus 20.
That's true.
We're in collaboration. I would like to kind of, because I was recalling knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would be your occultism?
My occultism is a 17.
Solid. As these tentacles start to emerge, and you see her take a nigh identical form to the spirit that you have seen before. You realize that this corruption, this curse, whatever it is, that has spread across much of your allies here, also is hanging over her. She is both the source of it, but also its original victim. Whatever has happened to her here, she is barely in control of what happens now. Almost puppeted by whatever force has put these tentacles inside her. You see that in her physical form, most physical attacks are going to be as effective as intended.
So she's living.
She is living. She is not undead. She
long.
has
Oh my
been
gosh.
kept alive by this curse.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's one action. No.
It was just for the stoke. You got 2 left.
Oh, the recall knowledge doesn't
Because
take
you
an
were
action.
recalling knowledge as your exploration, so you just get 1.
Excellent. Kind of, sort of casing the joint a little bit. I'm going to Forbidding Ward on myself. Snuggling up into this corner that I've got, starting to kind of steel my nerves, ready for my next turn.
Is that it for you then?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Seeing the demeanor switch and some arrows start flying, I will just shoot straight back behind her. 1 action to get around to the backside. Before, I guess, taking a second to realize what you've been saying. Like that's a person. That's not the spirit we've been dealing
Not a
with.
spirit. This is the physical body of the realize.
And instead of trying to do my normal, like spaghetti in the ghost, I'm going to use knockdown.
Okay. Go ahead. And as you reach out to swing towards her, though she does not seem to consciously react, as you've seen the spirit do before, the larger of these tentacles, ignited in this white flame, lashes out instinctively in defense.
She gets a reaction too.
You guys were kind of all here. It is only going to be a 23 to hit, though.
That will miss. Mr. Full Plate's in full plate.
Fair enough. You've seen this many times before now.
And I believe that a 30 will make contact.
30 will hit her, yes.
So that will just be normal damage. Not a crit. How about 18 damage? Pretty good. And I get a free trip attempt.
And that would be against her reflex DC.
Doesn't matter. Rolled a 20.
Solid.
She will take
She gets a bonus D6.
4 more damage. And she is very prone.
And you absolutely lay her low. A mighty strike, knocking her to the ground. MD.
MD literally seeing a moment flash in front of this is my chance. I'm going to rush forward with the pick in hand, the
Just start mining.
pick in one hand, and the war raise in the other. This is the pick. So we're going down with the pick first, literally full force, full momentum
Bro.
down with the pick. A 14 on the die, so it is a 30 against her flat-footed.
30 absolutely will connect her.
So it is a total of four fours, 4, 10,
I rolled all 4s as well.
4, 8.
We're the very slightly
12,
above average gang today.
16, 22 damage. And with that pick in her, I kind of pull her body up a little bit as the pick's still embedded in this slash at her with the War Razor.
You were unable to do any of your sneak attack or precision damage previously because she was a specter, but now on the physical form of her, those abilities work perfectly effectively as well.
I know how to kill people, not ghosts. I rolled a 5 on the die. That's going to be a total of a 17.
17, the second hit's not quite right. Already, MD and Trey, powerful fighters, have lain more than strong enough blows to lay an old woman like this to rest 3 times over. And as her body does simply lay on the ground, near motionless as you lay into it. It seems only these tentacles emerging from them, wreathed in their fire, still act and move. And as they do, they don't lash out towards you. They whirl together in a strange harmony, glowing brighter, as so too does the fire enwreathing Easy, Trey, and MD. I need all three of you to make me fortitude saves.
Would you say this is a bit of a manipulation?
It just sort of happens.
Oh. And you said fortitude.
Fortitude.
That's a 1.
28.
No.
28.
I got a 13 on the die.
28 is a regular success.
I rolled an 11 on the die for a total of 23.
23 is a regular failure. Easy.
We need to. I'm so sorry. My client needs to do some paperwork
Okay,
here.
thank
This
you.
is not going to stand. This is.
Thank you, Nebula 314. I'm just rethinking. So I've met this lady like 4 times already. I know this weird tingly feeling. I'm gonna hope this works. Reroll. 13. Okay, that's
Not a 1.
12 points better.
Better.
Fortitude
Fortitude.
plus 11, 24.
Regular failure. So you will take half from this tray as both of you are, or all three of you rather, are subsumed by these flames, massively brightening, growing in intensity as they burn away at your very soul. It's going to be 40 points of damage. 20 for Trey, 40 for Easy, 40 for MD.
Oh, okay.
Combined fire and negative damage.
Oh no.
Now keep in mind you are weak to fire. So it's probably going to be 45 and 25 for you.
Oh
Now.
my gosh.
I got it immediately. We talked briefly. I found a new house rule that I want to run because it's cool and fun. Courtesy of a thread that Jason Bowman himself started on Twitter, which is critical initiative. Anybody that rolls a natural 20 on their initiative on your first round of combat is going to have a 4th action. Anybody who rolls a natural 1, like Namira did, is
okay.
only going to have
I thought you were about to say she had that 4th action. I was like, ouch.
If she was so far behind with the natural
What's her
20,
initiative? -4?
I
Like,
don't know, but I was
she
worried.
rolled a natural 1 on initiative,
still
so those, yes. Those two,
It's a mini boss.
those, her modifier is higher than what you
Oh
rolled.
my god.
Today's lucky number is in fact 4.
Wait, what?
That means after the 2 actions for that ignition, that is going to be her first round, bringing us to Easy.
Okay. Well, that hurt a lot. Anyways,
No sounds emanate from Namira anymore. The moaning is fallen silent, and she lays there like a bloodied, ripped up corpse.
also close to being a bloody ripped up corpse. So
A burning, blackened corpse. Slightly different.
I'm still trained too. But yeah, I'll find something in myself that's courageous, and I'll say, oh, well, you gotta if you got a spooky attic, you better call the Briarstone Brawlers. We'll get rid of all your attic crawlers. If Ghost got you feeling fraught, call the Forget-Me-Nots. We haven't decided on a team name, but we're open for business and accepting all callers. And this is gonna
Full
be
limerick? That was a full limerick.
well, that's gonna
wasn't
be a
it?
double. Yeah, it's a full limerick. This is gonna be. I'm right now. I'm trying to feel my oats. It's a celebrity feat. It's you're.
That's what it's
Yeah,
called.
you are living your fantasy and no one can shake you out of it. Roll a deception check. Okay, it's a 6 plus you do perception performance because I versatile performance. So I get to add 17 plus 6 is.
This is a DC by level?
No. So
Oh.
17 plus 6 is 7, 6 is
23.
23. Now I could save that for 1 minute, and if I roll a bad will save, I can use that instead.
Oh, okay.
I like the celebrity dedication, and that's
a
also
really
courage. It's also a
funny
little bit of courage, and then I am going to hide behind this crate.
Take cover.
Power.
Taking cover is not a bad idea.
Yeah,
Protect
take
me. Great. Back to the top with Mars.
can you remind me real quick, when a creature is prone, is there a penalty for the range
Not
attack?
inherently, but they could take an action to take cover, which would give them a bonus against range attack.
Okay.
She did not do that. She is simply laying on the floor. She is a ripe target.
Okay. Seeing how badly that flame damage hit everybody,
It just kind of put out 115 damage, I think.
Marius is gonna really concentrate on aim, try to hit well, so he's gonna use Hunter's aim.
Oh, baby.
Max damage.
It's a
crit.
natural 20.
I see
plus,
a 6 and a 4 on the D6s, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a natural 20 plus 17 plus 18 plus... So it's 40. A hit for 40.
Plus your deadly die.
I mean, 40 is just a damage. It's just a hit.
Oh,
He wants to know how big the
okay,
number
yeah,
is.
no, I mean,
wanna
you
know
did
the
hit
damage
her.
part now.
That's-
So 10, 14, 28, 7,
35,
35.
Almost
36,
40.
37.
Yes. Almost 40.
Oh my god.
Shot number 1.
37.
Shot number 1.
37 damage shot.
Shot.
Strikes directly into her waist, right into her stomach at the nexus of where these tentacles are emerging. And you see both of them for a moment flicker dark as they recoil reactively. That was the first shot.
Oh my gosh.
I'm undead. I'm really not excited about that fire thing. I just want to get that all away from me.
Unholy fires.
That's a 19 plus 15.
Holy
34.
cow.
34 does not quite crit her
Yep.
flat-footed. It's because she is flat-footed because she's prone, but that doesn't quite do it.
That's why I knocked her prone.
And that's still 11 plus 14. Yeah, it's a 14.
14 more
Right.
points of damage.
No, 15.
15 more points of damage.
Marius is angry.
Oh
very angry.
my gosh.
Yep.
Big shots.
That's gonna miss with the 2.
I mean, no one can complain about the damage that you dealt this round. That was,
That was the flurry shot. So one
Hunter's
more.
aim is 2 actions, correct?
Oh yes, you're right.
So those 3 shots,
Thank you for
2 of them landing powerfully, will bring us to Cammy, where this corpse, the tentacles now recoiling, almost limply dragging themselves, just traces and motes of fire racing across their length now as they are near extinguished.
I imagine Cammy's kind of in the corner, like, okay, we're gonna do it again. Starting to reach for her scroll. Seeing Marius just lay them into her while my friends are about to go down. It's like, never mind. And I'm going to firstly, just first level, shooting a heal over to MD. So that is going to be a 1d8 plus 8.
With an extra sauce.
10.
10.
Cool. That's
You're
easy.
welcome. And then I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
start quickly warming my hands together and say, "Make way!" I'm running over to where Easy is. I'm not going to be able to do it this turn, but I'll see you next turn.
Take 2 and call me later.
Fair enough. And as you rush over to this position behind the crate, Trey still looming over his target.
Grab, stab, stab.
She's still on the ground.
That won't. I have prerequisites that require she's grabbed.
That's fair. It's just she's on the ground and you reach out and just grab a hold of her gown.
20.
20 to grab
Yes.
is not going to be successful. You get a hold
Combat grab.
of the gown, but it simply rips. It's taken so much damage from your assault. It's just.
So then I'm
loose
just going to
claw
add
tatters.
spear to the next attempt. 31.
31 was.
You weren't using the weapon.
Yeah.
Grab her with the spear.
So I lost Stoke the Heart, so that's only going to be 12 damage instead of 15.
12 damage.
But
is
she's now grabbed.
still a good amount of damage, and she is in fact grabbed.
Dazing blow. As the first go to grab, rip the cloth, turn the spear around, stab, pin her down, turn the spear around again, you take the blunt end, pop her over the face.
And as you do this, as you reach and you strike, your blows, your pickaxe, your spears, your arrows have done enough damage to her body now that the tentacles start to fall free. What you grab a hold of is not the body of the former Countess Namira Laus, but the nucleus of pale flesh and flame writhing free from the stomach of this woman.
Oh.
And that will miss with a 2 as the dazing blow just smashes the ground as surprised by whatever the hell that is crawling out of her.
You near pull this thing free of her. Her blood soaking the wood floor as we come to MD.
There is no finesse. Like, this guy over here is like has a lot of finesse with his attack. There's no finesse. I see that nucleus come out and almost like homing. That looks weak. That looks squishy. The axe just comes in from the side. 12 on the die for a total of a... My math just left my 28. 29.
That will hit.
For a total of 6, 7, 10, 15, 21, 22 damage.
And what happens to it?
It just... Like I said, there's no finesse. It is just pure violence as the axe's full strength comes through and kind of just pierces it and keeps going.
As you strike down at this thing, whatever it is, you see in the light of the fire across all of you that this blood pouring out of the former countess shimmers across the floor. It's tainted, it's mixed with something, it's barely even red. It's almost more the same color as these fleshy tentacles, almost the pallid white of the flames that dance across the group of you. But MD, as you bring this pick down and you smash it, in that instant, the attic falls perfectly dark, as the fire is extinguished not just from this mass within her, but from the 3 of you as well. 2 of you are plunged into complete darkness over here.
I'm gonna light my bow and cast light.
Cammy's
Move it
every
to my
girl-
forehead like a little headlamp.
Cammy's like every girl in high school, lights go off, she screams immediately.
You don't like?
The dark
The
is
light
terrifying.
reilluminates the dead body of Malevolence and the dead form of whatever was embedded within her.
What the heck is this thing?
Can I try and identify it?
Cammy's recalling knowledge here. What is your occultism? 17, you said?
17.
You don't have much to go on. You're just here alone in an attic, the dim light of this cantrip looking over whatever this thing is. But clearly, this is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It's not a separate creature itself. It's not an independent parasite that had simply hosted itself within Namira. This was a part of her. A part of her, as much as her hands, her eyes, her face. And in the end here, it seems it was more a part of her than her own mind. This mass of pale flesh grew out from her rather than being put within. It looks different. It's wrong. It's damn near alien. But it was something her body created. Obviously, powerful magic was involved in this. This is clearly not something that happened normally, but it was almost certainly something that was done intentionally. It looks like it must have taken decades to grow.
She was definitely holding on to something for somebody. This is not... Whatever it is grown in her on purpose.
Was it her decision, or do you think they just experimented on her?
I
hope that's not how they
don't know, but I don't think that I mean, by the time that we got to her, it looks to me like it was more in charge than she was. And I don't think that she would decide to do that.
If it took that long and was placed inside her, is it possible that the Count is affected by this too?
Looking at how the
Oh.
thing connects into her body, now that you have free and ample access to examine the corpse, you can see that it has grown through near every part of her. Were you to look at this with a modern mind, or with proper medicine training, you could see that this connects into her blood. Her vessels run through it. It links into her spine. It's rooted directly into her nervous system. It is very possibly her at this point. And the way that it spreads, its tendrils reach up and down her body. These two tentacles on the exterior are not the only ones. This mass, this alien tumor itself, is little more than a ball of these extensions running all through her body. Some larger, some thinner, some no bigger than a hair. Wound up and around her organs. It
Right.
looks strangely similar to your lay on hands.
Easy, come over here.
Yeah, I need like blood and
I just
life
want
back.
to. Somebody watch this. I'm gonna lay on hands on him because I was going to anyways, but taking some time as a point of reference. Yeah, there you go. Have some juice. Taking some time as a point of reference. How much do you get now? You
24.
Yeah. Oh, you get 24.
Fourth level spells.
More than double my health.
Congrats.
As you cast that into him, as you have seen before, this magic spreads across his body, even with, well, I suppose burns or physical wounds. I was going to say no physical wounds. You got some pretty
Yeah, there's
significant
some
physical
physical
wounds. You
wounds.
were set on fire. This energy spreads across your body, not just as a glow and a pale yellow light, but as these tendrils, as these fungal strings that reach and wrap themselves across your injuries, melding with it and restoring large swaths of your skin as they should be. Your magic has become more potent now. At first, these were barely visible. Now, some of these strands are as big around as a pencil as they reach out, almost like vines across his body.
I mean, all of us have weird things going for us. We hear voices around Trey when he goes in command mode.
Can you do something for me real quick?
What's that?
Can you check me? If there's anything in there. What is that? I'm getting more of it. What if it's like,
Do you feel funny?
I don't know.
Do you feel nauseous?
I woke up feeling like this. I know
Do you-
this is all I've ever felt
Do you
like.
feel a writhing inside your skin?
I don't know. I have no other point of reference if I do.
Then you're fine.
Like that.
I see a little bit of writhing under your
Stop
cheek.
it. Look, can you just check?
Humor her. I just take her hand off and just kind of put it in her mouth so I can
Like
see.
you're checking for
tongue
strep.
depressor.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Ah.
Yeah, you look like you have a perfectly healthy tongue and teeth. They're all there.
All 38 of them.
Maybe it's the people you heal that turn.
Oh my gosh, you guys are all screwed! Except for Marius.
I'm clearly the fortunate one here.
We should all technically be dead by now. We've had some
Let's look
awful
around
things
before the
happen
ticks
to
show
us.
up for all this blood.
Yeah, speaking of, I've been in nature before. Marius is going to check his legs for ticks and things.
That's
I don't think
fair.
they want your blood.
The good news,
Oh my god.
well, the
know.
bad news about the situation with the ticks in the Lowell's Manor is that they are horrifying, grotesque, and huge. The good news is that whatever species they seem to be, that's just how big they are. There's nothing they could do to be unnoticeable on figures of your size. You check yourself, you look down, understandable and reasonable response, but you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
I don't
Not a single smaller tick attached that you can find.
I don't want Lyme disease. All right, then. Well, if we're done with this body.
Yeah.
Can
Look
I
around, then leave.
can I read aura on myself real quick? Can I try and like, kind of like almost like I was doing a self X-ray, like sitting there in the corner, like. She's humming out loud. It's her focus.
You check yourself over, trying to read if there are any signs of anything in you that are different, that are wrong, that are amiss. But nothing shows up.
Is hers? Can I read hers? Does hers put off something?
She seems to be entirely unmagical as well.
No! Oh,
Alright then,
I need an ultrasound.
Right then. You want to go downstairs away from the ticks?
Yeah. There's probably worse stuff down there, but fine.
Check her body.
I'm just gonna pick Cammy up, and
This
now
is
she's
so
freaking
bad!
No, don't use the pick.
out. Picks away. I'm gonna pick Cammy up with my hands. Just,
This is so bad.
you're okay.
Don't think so.
You're perfectly.
I have an alien growing inside
You're as
me.
perfectly normal as the day we woke up in the asylum.
No, look at this. And I flick one of the little mushrooms I made on his stomach. You see this crap?
That's perfectly normal for you.
No, it's not. You didn't have that before.
You think the mushrooms would heal you if we ate them?
Huh?
Because they heal them when they grow.
Like the drainberry things.
Exactly.
Go and knock yourself out, actually. That's actually
I'll take.
I really don't know.
Pluck one off and just.
Are they magic
Does
mushrooms?
that hurt? Did that hurt?
The
Just heal
mushrooms,
them.
little bits of fungus that grow out when you cast your lay on hands, they are easily detachable. They aren't affixed to you or anything. It doesn't hurt to pull them free. They're not rooted. Fungus
How's it
doesn't
taste?
really do that. Honestly, like almost nothing. It has very little taste at all, and hardly texture.
Hey, lizard. Call out the chameleon.
Greenie just kind of appears on Cammy's shoulders.
Calm her down. Pat her on the head or something. Tell her she's okay. Put your tongue in her ear. I don't know.
We have an alien inside. I mean, inside me, but we're kind of. I mean, we're tight like that. The royal we.
One-
Oh, I always forget. Wait, okay. So 1 can be yes, and 2 can be no. Do we have an alien? Do you remember? Do we have an alien inside us? Oh, you gotta do this faster. Oh my gosh, dude, that was awful. Do we have? Okay, no, okay, hold on. Actually, this is a great idea. I clambered down from MD. Look at this. Do you recognize that? I point to all the gunk inside her. Ah, never mind. Okay,
Right then.
it's not your fault.
I'm going to say this is a one-off. You probably don't have to worry about the tentacle things.
At least for now.
Also,
Maybe
you did say it was decades of this happening,
Yeah.
and you've only been in the cult for, I don't know, Melisen short.
maybe in 20
Oh.
years.
Then
The growth inside Namira almost certainly predates any of you being alive, possibly even you.
Okay,
You're fine, Jamie.
it's okay.
I'm never gonna get over the irony that Cammy is by a significant margin the oldest member of the group. At like X2 of the next oldest person.
Thank you, Lizard. You did a good job.
I think I might be terminal.
We're all terminal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude, yes! That's it! Did you guys, you do so good at that.
All right.
The next one we're doing is ready? Like that. Like that.
I
Hang loose.
doesn't.
That's kind of like,
He has 2 fingers.
if you like spread it out more, then like that's kind of it. Kind of, you have to point it up. People like kind of do it up. Yeah, dude.
We're just gonna spend the rest
That's
of the day
hang,
up
that's
here.
hang, that's hang
as
loose.
she's doing this,
Like
pick
this.
her up again.
Maybe do it that
Under
one
the
a bit
arm.
more.
Pick up, like the lizard's just on her somewhere and start walking towards the stairs. Come on, easy. We're going downstairs.
Oh, we're gonna
Okay.
workshop that.
You go first.
I'm not gonna really stop and do anything, but as we're walking, did any of the crates and stuff appear interesting.
Yeah,
Just
like, is there
outwardly.
anything interesting in the rich people's attic?
The manor itself is crammed to the brim with oddities and esoterica that would hold nearly no value to anyone.
All right.
And the attic, doubly so. That said, it's a place that has been forgotten and abandoned for, honestly, a truly incredible amount of time. And while the things in the manor itself are oft seen, up here in the attic, things go to be forgotten. Some of them do look somewhat interesting, or at the very least, valuable. Especially those kept in many of the boxes around where Namir was saying. There is an assortment of antique jewelry that is a style of old enough to perhaps predate Ustalav entirely. That several of the pieces could be worth dozens, if not hundreds, of gold if collected. There is a jade comb, a gold ring set with a large square-cut diamond black pearl earrings, silver necklace set with garnets. It's finery and riches, to be certain.
You know what we're going to do for safety? We're going to put Cammy in a chair. We're going to pass items one by one in front of the detect magic machine.
Reinvent the TSA.
I was going to say,
Exactly.
this is the Yoldi TSA. We're
I
Like
do
checking
saw
out at
that.
the grocery store. Like, beep, beep.
Scanning over all of these, none of the jewelry appears to be magical, just ancient.
So it's safe.
All checks out.
Altogether, it's even just sold to a jeweler for the value of its metals, easily 400 gold worth of goods.
Do you know how gaudy I could be?
Extremely. You can put some fine black pearl earrings on.
We also have some noble people's clothes too. And
Yeah.
We gotta pierce your ears first, though.
they're already pierced.
You real pirate.
Just take the pick and
You have a spear. Why would you use the pick?
this has got a sharper point.
You have a spear.
He's
Yeah.
got a point.
No, the raising spear, sir, is shaped like a chisel. It
destructive
leaves
chisel.
triangle-shaped holes in things. The pick has a point.
Fair, I suppose.
I think the pick would leave a square hole.
We also have daggers.
No, we have daggers.
That
And we
would
have a rapier.
They leave flat
the
holes.
rapier would be
Yeah.
really.
That leaves a hole.
A circular hole, too.
That's
It goes
the
in the
best
Pretty
square
sure
hole.
someone has a safety pin.
Descending down
Pretty sure you
from the attic, you find yourselves once more in the master bedroom of the estate. Where is it you are intending to head?
Out of the attic so we can get
Yeah.
him and me and him looked at.
I'm relatively fine.
I wasn't.
The two of you, not so much. I'm pretty fine.
But I'm still drained 1.
Oh
He's
my
drained
gosh.
2.
I would say probably back down to where we dealt with this before we went up to the attic.
The
The
library.
library?
Yes.
As you descend down into the library.
So there's a cozy fire in here.
There's a nice cozy fire. You descend down to the library. You notice that in your battle with Namira's spirit just before, the rug on the eastern side of the room had been cast a bit askew from your movements. And you can see all now plain as day, a corner of something underneath it poking out.
Marius, go check that out.
I'll check that out. I feel bad that I didn't check this rug. I checked the other rug instead.
You are an absolute master of looking under the things that don't have anything and not the
Oh.
stuff that does have things.
Check the wrong bush.
Wrong garden, wrong rug. You did it. We needed to get the consistency up. If you
Yeah.
check all of it, you'll get there.
I checked the
Marius,
rug.
casting the rug aside, reveals a trap door
Oh, here we go.
set into the floor, leading into the unknowns beneath
Where's the glow?
Iris Hill. Huh?
The glow from the Stellai in relation, because it was coming from this building.
It would be almost center mass on the manor itself, towards the back of it, not from here.
Okay, and we definitely haven't seen anything, so this is a pretty solid bet.
Well,
Do
how
we,
you feeling?
I feel half as good as I could be.
Do we want to take 10, 15 minutes?
Yes.
Take a minute.
Take
Do
a
we-
minute.
Do we hear anything if I like put my ear up to the trap door?
Does he hear his big pointy ear?
It's a thick wooden hatch that was near flush with the floor, concealed under this rug to keep it from prying eyes. It's well able to block any sounds that may be on the other side.
I assume that this will be about a 20-minute rest.
I think you need a pretty good amount of healing, and that's going to take a fair amount of lay on handsing. So it's going to be, if she's just treating easy,
I just need one.
He needs one, and then
How many would you need?
he would need 2 for full.
Just one to be good.
So
if
just
we're gonna
one is
stop,
good.
we might as well.
So a 20-minute rest.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. If you guys want to rest, I'm going to roll this percentile die.
Can I roll it?
And every 10 minutes you want to spend here is going to add 10 to the chance that something happens.
I would say 20 minutes is
I
perfectly
think 20
fine.
minutes is perfectly
Okay.
fine.
And I
30
can
if we get
refocus
used to.
while I'm doing
You can
it.
refocus while you're doing it.
Okay, so I'll be back.
You are
up.
basically continually because you keep spending it too.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
you however many focus points you have now.
Is what I would be at. I wouldn't get one
Yes,
more.
because you're going to be immediately spending the ones you're getting on further lay on hands.
I gotta learn how
So
to
if we do
focus more.
30 minutes, can I try and re-identify all these?
You want to look through those while she's tending to you? Sure.
Perfect.
That could be in the 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could do 2
you
for
do
20,
too.
3 for 30.
All three of us need it, so
If we all
Oh,
three
you
get
all
a,
need it? Okay, how
if
many
we
lay
all
on
three,
hands?
if we all three get a tap, he's missing
I'm missing
21.
enough.
So then that's 30 minutes.
I'd be full and he'd be full.
Okay.
That's 30 minutes, and I'll recheck all 3 of these.
None of them have been crit. You have regular successes on all 3, right?
Yes.
I will
Okay, let's do that.
trade you out for the fine yellow sash. You can go ahead and open that one all the way
This one? Yeah, crit fail.
and get the success on that one.
There you go.
And how much does your lay on hand give us back?
24.
24.
You want high or low to be safe?
Low.
Ask that. I don't
High to be safe.
answering
Wait,
those
What are the
questions.
chances of you rolling a 100?
I think
1 in 100.
Actually, it's a different because it's 2 dice.
low is safer.
Wait,
I don't. I
Question.
hate making these
High.
because then it goes.
Sully, do you want high or low to
No,
be safe?
stop
before
it,
you roll
I
that,
hate
a
it.
quick question.
I feel like high is always.
I used the yellow sash previously.
It didn't actually do anything.
That's what I thought.
Mm,
I just rolled a 20, so.
yeah, it's
You
your
just
choice.
rolled a really good intimidate.
Your lay on handsing.
High is safe,
High safe.
Yeah.
low is bad.
Low is bad.
Okay,
Low bad.
high safe, low's bad. How high?
12.
I wanted to say low.
Well, then he would have rolled a 92.
Who did
so
you heal first?
I think we were doing easy first.
Easy first.
Easy will have received healing. As you focus
my
your
gosh.
efforts on this magic into easy, before you can recover enough of your energy to turn your focus to Trey and MD, you hear a strange sound. It sounds like a bark from a dog, but in multiple tones overlapping. The sound ripping through the room as a creature erupts from seemingly nowhere in the side of the library amongst all of you. We're going to take our midstream break.
That dog's sick.
But when we come back,
That dog ain't right.
I'm going
a
to pet
dog
that dog.
shape, a hound of some kind, but
A turtle.
one truly deformed, with massive, bulbous eyes protruding out from its head, and strange, pale, hairless skin. This creature leaps from nowhere, seeming to emerge into existence, not appearing as if from invisibility or teleportation, but as if it leapt out from nothing in an instant next to you. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Feel free to grab some snacks, run to the bathroom. That's what I would do. Stretch your legs. Thank you all for being here,
We
for
need a
supporting
cue.
the show, for hanging out. We appreciate all you guys. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. As we left off before the break, wounded by our battle with Namira and her strange flames, we had stopped for a moment in the library on the ground floor of the manor to tend to our wounds. The worst off among us, of course, was Easy, who is still struggling after the incredible loss of blood he faced at the bushes outside. But no sooner were we able to help him with the worst of his woes before another denizen of the dark sprung upon us. A warped and twisted creature, shaped almost like a hound, with
That dog's
bulging, bugged eyes, emerged from nowhere to set upon us in an instant. I need initiative from everybody.
That's about right.
Well, now that we know what that does, now that does something, I actually
Ones
might...
and 20s do things now.
Yeah, hold on. That's the first time that's gonna come up for me.
We put the rule in effect
yeah.
today, and it's already come
You
up
got the
twice.
lowest without
You know-
getting
I
hurt.
didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
It's funny.
the dog initially kind of catches me off kilter a little bit, but I am a trained professional doctor, so I'm not gonna let that get to me. So thank you to Hypervol. I'm gonna re-roll that one, because now that does stuff. 7 on the die.
I almost thought you did it.
I did too.
I'd like to go back and forth on who I take first, your initiative or theirs. But this time I will start with this strange hound at a 30. I will go this way, easy.
Okay, 19 on the die plus 13 is
32.
32.
And who are you?
He's going to go first.
And who are you?
Cam.
Oh, I'm Kevin.
Oh, let's reintroduce
Oh, yeah,
briefly. Sorry.
I'm Kevin.
You're right. Go ahead.
I'm a human bard. Last time I rolled a 2 and I wasn't prepared, but now I like dogs. I'm ready. I want to pet dog. I'm just a regular human bard who needs.
Just an average man with a chiseled
Cam,
jawline.
give me your number and a brief introduction.
I got a 7 on the die. That's a 21. And my name is Sully. I play Cammy. Itty bitty, gnomish witch, trying to heal her friend, getting eaten by a dog.
I got a 24, and howdy, I'm Derp, and I play Trey, the frontline hobgoblin spearfighter man. Pokey stick.
I am Colby. I play MD, the frontline orcish rogue, and I rolled a 2 on the die for a total of a 16.
Not a 1.
I was really engrossed in the conversation with Trey about battle tactics.
I'm Marcus. I play Marius, the dwarf ranger, who's also a ghoul. I got a 30 as well.
Ooh, which means he will win, unfortunately.
Oh, no,
He did
rock,
just
paper,
jump out
scissors
of the
for the
corner.
dog.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Enemies
If I-
win ties.
If I throw a
in
piece of meat,
Pathfinder.
distract him.
Elf.
You don't have. No, you didn't have the. You have the ghoul dedication. It's not a ranger thing. It's a scout thing. Is what it was.
Would
I was-
we have been doing any exploration activities?
Your exploration activities, I imagine, would largely have been getting healed, working on. You were identifying items. She was treating you.
So
he
recalling
was
knowledge.
inspecting this thing on your items, not on this thing.
I mean, if I wanted to be a
It's a
lawyer,
good
I
effort,
could say
but I'm gonna
that
say no.
Oh, that was slick.
I could argue that I was doing the stuff because I'm in full health. I didn't need anything.
know
but
what?
I'm not.
I
I
would-
don't need to. I'm fine with keeping where we are if you want.
I would give Marius scouting, which would do this. I'd give you the 31.
Thank you.
Good job.
And I
Easy.
can't have recalling knowledge.
He was scouting out that trap
That dog
door.
looks sick.
Easy. As this creature emerges right
Ooh,
next
actually-
to you.
Battle cry on initiative.
Oh, give me battle cry.
He screams at it.
Ah!
He's terrified.
Does a 23 spook it?
Doesn't seem to react. As you see this thing emerge almost out of the wall
Sorry, 24.
next to you, you hear this strange bark, but its eyes, bulging out the sides of its head, start to glow with a baleful energy. It's physically painful to look at it. You can feel the burns across your body igniting with pain, like they're being ripped open by blades. You are first.
Okay. So I'm just gonna try and deal with that. So
Now, this is a good thing to point out because I believe we have a largely new Pathfinder party, and this is a mechanic that I don't believe has come up before. You can take an action to try to fight effectively without looking at something.
Okay.
It's called averting your gaze. You can tell it's painful to look at this thing. If you want to spend, basically, it's one action's worth of effort to remain effective while trying not to make eye contact with this hound. You don't know if that will help, but it's an option.
Okay. I will open with that. I will turn my back to it, and I will look at right behind me. I'll look at you and I'll be like, I'm a little bit scared, but I'll kind of dissociate to my pirate self to be like, "All right, what a foul beast! There's no way to admire it. Would scare anyone, even a pirate."
We're back to the pirate arc.
I'm usually full of fear, but when me friends be near, their courage I inherit.
Up and up.
He's developing an alternate personality to
what I'm
fight
rolling.
Strange Aeons.
I don't know what you're rolling either.
know
I
what I'm
do
rolling.
know that I'm giving Cammy a hero point. Cammy, she's our witch. She'll save the party like she's scratching an itch from Scott. There you go.
Thank you.
They take the archetype and give you a split personality, like an alternative personality, not personality, but
Just
persona.
Just take the
itself.
pirate archetype.
Yeah. No, he's not an actual pirate.
What do you got?
First strike. You missed. Did I?
So that I averted and
Averted,
inspired courage +1 damage attack rolls, extra save for fear, and I am going to do a nice step to Can I step through my friend?
You can. Step only goes one square.
Oh yeah, I'll step
have
onto the table.
MD and Trey
Yeah.
that were next to you. The table's sort of in the way. The only place you could step is north or adjacent to the house. There's nowhere you could step.
Can't step
that would
diagonally
keep you away.
to,
The
like-
table's in the way. You'd have to move around the table.
Can't do a flip.
You can, not with the step. You have to take a move.
Okay, I'll step I'll step.
Just out of the way.
Yeah.
Now, as you start to move, you still feel this ripping, slashing pain. Roll
even
me-
not looking at it?
Yeah, you get a bonus. Roll me a fortitude save. The DC is lower because you're averting your gaze.
Okay. 11 on the die, plus 11, 22.
But it's-
Plus something because of avert.
Avert. I'm gonna avert lower the DC,
Ah.
but that is still going to fail.
Your bones are going to explode.
I just fixed my bones.
You take 26 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
As
Well,
simply
that's exactly what
looking at this hound.
So minus
It
2 rest.
feels like you are being ripped limb from limb. The rest of you can see it's not just a feeling. His skin is being shredded. Pale, bloodless wounds are slashing across his body as he moves away from the hound. Marcus.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I'm going to avert my gaze and try to avoid looking at it as much as I can. Marius is gonna kind of go a little bit more into the ghoulish state, try to rely on hearing and smell
Okay.
with big pointy ears now. Hunt prey as well to try to pay more attention to it without seeing it. So that's 2 actions. Yes. So I'll just give it a couple
It's
arrows.
a good double shot. The advantage of Ranger, you can do all that stuff and still fire twice.
We have courage.
Oh, we got courage.
Okay. That is a 20 or 26.
26 will not catch it as it emerges from the wall.
Come on.
Oh, 26. I'm dumb. 26 absolutely would. Sorry.
Okay.
Just take those damage dice like it was the last one.
Okay. Then
my
that's
gosh.
4, 8, 11.
Now, as your arrow flies to it, it's on target. You've drawn a proper bead. But as the arrow approaches the hound, it seems to warp. It distorts, like you're viewing it through an impure lens. And suddenly, somehow, it's off. No damage.
Okay.
Do the second shot.
Well, if I take what I just rolled, then that definitely misses as well.
That one just misses traditionally. Roll me a fortitude save. The DC is lower because you're also attempting to avert your gaze.
It's a 9, plus 14 for 23.
Your bones explode.
You take 13 points of slashing damage. As you too have these wounds start to emerge across your body from no apparent source. The hound next to the wall here is left amidst two targets. 50-50 says Cammy as its first prey.
That's a mistake. I'll let you reroll that if you want.
And as it lunges forward with a howling bite, it's going to be only a 23 to hit.
Oh. Well, that does still hit, but
Okay.
but
Not doesn't crit.
It was very close to not.
We like it when things don't crit. Well, I imagine you like it when things don't crit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And its jaws are only going to deal 23 points of piercing damage as it bites you. And then it is going to throw its head back and howl. But it's a howl unlike anything you've ever heard before. It is high-pitched. It is piercing. It is almost more akin to a bird screeching. And as it does, you see it start to vibrate slightly. And it whips its head back down at an incredible speed, seemingly having accelerated itself.
Oh, jeez.
Trey.
So, there is an alternative option. Rather than avoiding gaze. Close your eyes.
You can close your eyes entirely. That is an option. If you do that, everything
50-50
is
miss
invisible
chance.
to you.
But I know where it is, and I see what's happening to everyone else. So I will just close my eyes. And 3 rapid strikes in its
Nice.
general
You're
direction.
going to have a 50%
Hey, are you sure?
What?
thrusting wildly.
With your friends all around.
Well, no, I target the square.
Give me your
So first,
mischance.
mischance. That will miss.
What'd you roll?
A 1.
50-50.
There's literally a gnome in between you. Roll me an attack roll.
Oh, come on! No!
That will be a 27.
27 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Your first thrust is Cammy.
Now wait, hold on.
You're about to take damage.
My empathetic plea.
Doesn't work. I can't see you.
No, it's
I'm
not.
talking
It's verbal.
to you.
Oh, it's verbal. Okay.
As
I'm
your
not listening
spear approaches me,
Yeah.
I turn around and face my comrade, blindly stabbing with the spear, and I
I
try
see
to grab
bones
onto it, saying, "Hey, stop that! Stop! It's me! It's me!"
Give me a diplomacy check.
Okay.
What's it against?
It's against your will DC, I believe.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay. Good, because I don't have very good diplomacy.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, it's a
Low
15
diplomacy
on the
versus
die,
low
so
roll.
that's going to be a 26.
That passes. Yeah, it's only a DC 20.
Excellent.
So I believe a regular success. Yeah, you just don't attack. So that first attack, right before you
So it
would,
just doesn't happen?
right before you would run Cammy through, you stop for a second, hear that voice, and kind of refocus towards where you heard
I
the howling
grab
and
your
try
spear and I
again.
say,
Wait, so if it
50-50.
doesn't
And I
happen,
throw
do I
it
have a
back.
map?
Yes, because you still try to swing it. You
Okay.
just don't get it off.
Then mischance.
It's just basically an auto miss.
That will
Oh
go
my
through.
gosh.
Okay, then give me the hit.
And then a 18. I rolled a 4.
18, you'll... Now this is even more interesting, because while all of you can see the weird distortion of Marius' arrow, now you have the shaft of a spear. That as it approaches...
through water
As it
where it-
approaches the head, it's literally like it's punched through the surface of water. You see a complete refraction of the spear as it somehow juts curving around the hound's body.
And then mischance number 3. That'll go through on a 17.
Okay, then give me the hit roll. This is the downside. You got to roll good twice.
And
Your
then a
eyes closed.
16 for a 26.
That'll hit.
Will hit.
That will be 15. 16. 17. We got there.
Your spear will warp around and you will all watch it graze the flank of this hound. It is going to resist most of that damage, but you are going to hurt it. And that is the first you have drawn blood from this beast. Now, you with your eyes completely closed, you can't possibly be in this case. You don't need to make a fortitude save. Can't.
I want to leave. I don't. I'm not safe on either front. I would like to. So how many actions is it to crawl under the table?
I would just say one. If you want to use one action to crawl underneath the table, you can
Okay.
certainly do that.
So I will close my eyes because I'm not wielding a spear.
Now, I will tell you, your spells also have a 50% mischance if they target somebody. And if they fail, the spell just fizzles. It's still expended.
That's okay for this round, I think.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything too
Just
impressive.
so you know.
Right now, I'm fleeing. I would like to give it closes her eyes and like blindly falls to the floor, crawling, feeling for the table legs. And as I'm passing through, I'm gonna kind of slap onto Trey's calves and say, "Go get him." Stoke the heart
50-50
potentially.
mischance.
So let's see. The first, so 11. So
That passes, so he is stoked.
yes. So you're stoked.
Now you have to hit with your buffs.
Yes. For her, my last. I would like to. Is it? Do I have to look at it to recall knowledge?
You saw it for a moment as it came
Okay.
out. I would let you take a roll.
'Cause,
And this
yeah.
may surprise you. It's occultism.
Okay, excellent. Plus 17.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, no, something's not right about that.
The good news. This is a creature you have heard of before. The bad news. It's the kind of thing studied in legends. This is something called a Hound of Tindalos. It is not from this dimension, and it does not function in this dimension. It almost distorts a pocket of not just space, but also time around itself to be able to even exist on the material plane. As far as you know, one of these things physically being here isn't even confidently known to be theoretically possible. Simply perceiving it distorts your connection to reality in a way that is massively painful, mortally so in most cases. There have been stories, legends of these creatures, but never survivors. That said, the way they distort this reality to exist, in theory, limits them. It limits them to rigid space. Where you are, in the middle of the room, under the table, is relatively safe. The Hound, even conceptually, cannot possibly exist in open space. Even something as simple as the center of a room.
So it has to be glued to a wall or a surface.
Probably.
Oh my gosh, that's so.
How much of this do you
What do you-
communicate to us?
Cammy, with her hands over her eyes, just sort of pauses under the table for a second and goes, "Oh my gosh, it's a Hound of Tindalos. I don't know if it can leave the wall. You gotta go into like the middle of the room, I think."
MD.
All right, there's another way to deal with it. It's painful looking at. Don't care. Take a step forward. It took a bite at Cammy. And this is going to be.
It will now die.
Mad.
It is going to be 2 pick swings. The first one coming up, the second one is coming down.
Swing and swing.
It shouldn't
So-
exist.
It's flat-footed.
And soon
Easy's
it
next to
won't.
it.
Easy next to it. This is going to be the second attack. I'm just going to roll both of them together.
Go ahead.
So, you know what?
Do it.
I have a point from Scott. I was gonna save it for a rainy day.
This is a fairly rainy day.
It's a rainy day.
This thing's existence is literally tearing your friends apart.
It took a 9 to a 15. Thank you, Scott. That's a total of a 31
Hits.
and a 29.
Hits.
Or sorry, a 24.
25.
Flat-footed.
Oh, flat-footed hits.
Yep. 20.
Right, right.
32.
Both-
32 and 25.
Both hit. Neither,
Okay.
Still neither will crit.
Yeah. So, can it take?
They roll the damage separately. It can take precision damage.
Okay. So
Because it's got fat resistance.
The
So I need
first
them one at a
one-
time.
is 6, 10, 20 damage, 21 damage.
Good. All right.
And then the second
It's,
one,
it's going to take some of that.
second one is 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 25.
It's going to take most of that. Big hits are
And-
what you're going to need for this one.
Fortitude,
Give me a fortitude save. You're just taking it.
16 on the die for a total of a 28.
28 will succeed.
Grin
You don't take anything. You steady yourself.
That dog's sick.
The strength of your blows a focal point that helps to anchor you in the reality you were meant to exist in.
Oh.
Dog.
Easy.
Okay. So, I'm going to. So even if it's fine, because Inspire Courage is like verbal. That doesn't make it effective.
You don't need to. That's also an M&A. It's not targeting anybody.
Okay,
That's
I'm
just
gonna
going
completely close my eyes. And is closing your eyes an action?
No.
No.
I'm gonna-
Oh my god.
Averting your
crying.
gaze is like over the entire round. You're focusing to do
Oh,
things, so it
looking at
costs an
something else.
action.
Yeah, closing your eyes, you're just accepting all the penalties that come with that, and you're doing your turn with your eyes
Okay,
closed.
so I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna take Kimmy's advice and go under the table.
It's so much better under here.
A little bit more of a crawl for me. And that's one. And then I'm going to be like, well, I should adopt a dog. It might get me out of this whole breakup fog. I need saving, so I'll get a rescue. And a dog would be a welcome addition to our retinue. But not this one. This one should get hit by a log. That's a little bit of courage.
Courage. One action
And
left.
I got one action left. I'm just gonna. I don't even know what I do.
Crying is an action.
Yeah, I'm
Right,
just gonna
free
take
action.
cover as an action.
Take cover as an action. Absolutely, you can
Ooh,
do that.
cover
You're under the
underneath this
table,
table.
so I'll give you greater cover for sure under the table there. That's a +4 against your armor class.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, that rules.
Marius.
Yeah, that is the rules.
Okay. When we've seen a couple attacks kind of deflect or refract away,
You've seen a couple land as well, though.
do they move? Do they like refract in a predictable way, like always same direction, or
Doesn't make any sense.
okay?
Two near identical spear strikes had the shaft of the spear distort in completely different directions. One almost doubling entirely back on itself.
Okay. And if I were to close my eyes, could I use my hunt prey to get a +2 on that?
It wouldn't give you a +2 on the 50-50 to miss, because that's just you can't see it anymore to hunt it.
That's a
So
flat
it's you're firing at the general place where you knew it was without any like visual feedback to help it. So like closing your eyes, it is a big penalty for the trade-off of not having to make the save at all.
Okay.
And it is because rounds are simultaneous. If you want to close your eyes, you do have your eyes are closed for the whole round. It's not you can't like do your turn and then close your eyes and open up at the start of your next turn, because really this is all happening at once.
If what Cammy says is right, theoretically we could just try to move to the center of the room and ignore it. If it has to be along the wall, we could just try to get away from the walls. Maybe even go down the trapdoor and just.
It's going to be a problem no matter where we go in the house. The house is, surrounded by walls.
All right. I will continue to try to avert my gaze,
Okay, get a bonus.
and then I will. I'm gonna do a hunted shot to just try to get one good shot off.
Let's see it. This is such an interesting monster. I love Hound of Tindalos.
32.
32?
34.
34. It's not flat-footed to you. 34 will hit.
Okay. So that is 7, 11.
11 points of damage, though, still, as your arrow aimed, targeted, is on point. It distorts around, barely grazing it. It's fully resisted.
I think that's all I can do.
That's all you can do. Give me the fortitude save. Are you guys okay?
I just looked over and Kevin's just for forever. I was watching,
I was gonna-
just
I was gonna play
like
dogs.
making little dogs and talking to himself.
Do it. Is
Not a
there-
fear
no.
effect.
22.
22 is a regular failure.
Your bones are bleeding.
Oh, my bones.
15 points of slashing.
Technically, your bones are always bleeding because that's where your blood comes from.
The hound here being set upon by MD, accelerated, is going to attempt to defend itself. It is going to lash back, biting viciously out towards you. And as it does, as its jaws snap out, you even see parts of your body warping and distorting around as it closes, trying to make contact with you. It's sickening to watch. First attack, the natural 20.
Cool. Like crits.
Your bones are gone.
I rolled 2 dice. One was max, one was minimum, so we ended up at perfectly average.
Balance is all things.
48 points of piercing damage.
3, 4, I'm still standing.
Still up there.
I'm still going.
As it latches on with a vicious bite, and you see it looks like a singularity around MD's body, warped and shredded. Claws lash out in following.
Wait, did we get to heal you?
24.
24 actually. MD manages to somehow like, grit and twist his body away from that claw through the distortion. Pure instinct.
It's going to take this bite, and as it jumps back, you see what looks like it readying itself for another slash to lunge at you again, but it itself twists, warping, distorting, and whirling in a different direction as a claw aims seemingly at nothing, as the creature seems to move through space you cannot perceive in a way that you could never understand, stepping next to Cammy
Oh my gosh.
before
no.
it strikes, lashing under the table.
Hey, I get to attack blindly through Cammy again.
I
What?
went in too high.
It's only a 22.
That is my ace. Do I get any?
Do you get an
cover
under
from
the cover bonus?
table? I'm under the table.
Well, you gave him a greater cover.
That's true.
50-50. Roll me a d20. 11 plus, I'll say the cover makes it miss.
Okay.
Table will
There's a
save
lot of
you.
50-50s here.
Can I reroll the 50?
No, he didn't say it was a flat check.
It's a,
Oh.
it's just a,
Yeah, you can
it's
reroll
a
it.
dice rule decision.
Can I reroll?
If you want a hero point it, go for it.
That's what I
You-
It's-
Miss
Let me
Luck.
find out who to thank. Thank you, Scott.
Got it. Convert RNG.
I grip harder onto the table legs. I steel
Powers
myself
harder.
against the blow.
Become
Never
one
mind,
with
it's
the
a
shadow.
1. Anyways, why don't you hit me?
You'd get crit.
Oh no.
28
Ouch.
Damage.
points of slashing damage
Okay.
from its claws.
Okay.
And even with its haste, that 4 actions is all that it can do. Trey.
So I felt the hit that I did, and I felt like it didn't do much.
Not
So
much.
I feel like closing my eyes was only partially effective. So I'm just going to not close my
Just your
eyes
MD.
and
Enough.
deal with the consequences
You
as
MD
I
shout out.
open them up, go to strike and realize,
It's somehow over there.
and then start striking
Even
over
MD,
there.
the only one who watched this happen, has no explanation for how this moved. It simply looked like it turned and struck like Cammy was right next to you, and suddenly it's across there.
Follow it.
Yeah, so
It's impossible.
I know.
I'll move to its right side. Make a strike. Very confused as I see the spear start to warp, getting this close and thrusting it forward, but doing my best. For a 32,
32 will hit.
and that will be 15 damage.
Solid. You get some in there.
And then realizing this thing could just do whatever it did again and be across the room, however, I'm going to grab it with combat grab.
Fair enough.
Oh.
My arm's going to be warping. It's going to look weird, but I'm keeping this thing right here.
Just happened to MD. It's just you're initiating this time.
So,
Not flat-footed you right now.
no. Oh, but I do have... You didn't maintain Stoke on that last round. I don't have Stoke. So I was going to say it took 3 more damage, but it does take 1 more damage.
Okay.
So
What's the
that is
the stalling tells me probably not great.
no, it's a 9 on the die, so 24.
24. It's just the way it exists.
I was doing numbers.
Perverts your
It's
perception.
an 8 on the die.
Almost impossible to grab onto. The mere feature of its existence seems to naturally make it incredibly resistant to traditional weapons. Not because its body inherently resists blades or points, but because it's impossible to draw a proper target. Make me a fortitude save.
Is that for me?
No.
Okay, because I was immediately going to use it on that hit.
Cammy is hiding, but the dog is still biting. Seems like there's no place for her to hide, so maybe this point will make it bite wide. Scott! Scott!
Thank you.
23.
Oh, I had to spend yours immediately.
13 points of slashing damage to Trey.
Shoot through. Never saw it coming.
And it's your turn, Cammy.
Oh.
Not Scott's name.
This is a terrible foe.
Yep. I don't feel good.
Let's do.
I'm going to keep my eyes closed. Out of utility, but maybe even more so fear. Just kind of fumbling. I'm just going to sort of just moving 1 square up, but just crawling over, still trying to remain under the table, but like sort of kicking out, fumbling across the floor,
distance from it.
scooting away from it, still under the table, just 1 square over there. And then I'm going to try and lay on hands myself.
You
But
can't miss yourself.
I can't miss myself.
You know where you are.
Okay.
So yeah, you can't. Ooh, my eyes. I don't know where I am now.
I was worried
you can
about
cast
that.
it on yourself.
Heal the table.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You heal the table.
Don't worry about that
24 for
one.
me. Okay, that's what I was worried about.
That would be a very funny event to fail to find yourself.
That was my fear.
24 health.
Accidentally lays on
Plus
And-
2 AC. It's a 24 health.
Yes.
Plus 2 to your AC for a moment.
And my last action,
Only has 1, right?
as I'm
Cry.
kicking and scooting away, covering my eyes, I scream, "Trey, get it!" That's stoke the heart.
What do you think?
I cannot be
Yes.
stoked.
You can't be.
1 minute immunity when it goes away.
Yeah, if it goes away, you can't immediately reapply it.
I didn't do it in this fight though.
You did it the first round.
You did it first round.
My first round, I crawled under the table and
Stoke,
recalled.
So,
And recall knowledge.
Oh, I did do it the first round. You're right.
You can stoke
okay.
somebody else, but he's once if it falls off of him, he can't immediately.
Oh wait, then can I?
Anyone but,
Sustain it?
but
I've had-
me.
It's
This is
gone now. Like
It
once
went
it's-
away.
If it goes up and it goes
This is
away,
only
you
round
can't put it back up on the.
two.
Oh wait, no, this round
It's
2. You
round
can
2.
sustain. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
round 2.
yeah,
Oh,
you sustain.
okay, then it
He
You
does
have
have, he
it
does
on
have
your
to
add
do
2
more
more damage to this thing.
damage.
Then. I thought it went
Yeah.
away.
MD.
MD. Hey, wait a minute. Get back here. Just runs across the room. Get away from Cammy.
Oh yeah, I realized that you go after me.
Same deal. It's literally
Not
this time we're going left to right. We're doing a slide fight. So orange eye second attack. 10 on the die for the first attack. The second one was a 3 on the die.
Flat
So
footed now.
the 26 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
Cool. The other one was a total of
That's
a
better in there, but you got 1. And flat footed means you'll get your sneak attack. These big hits from MD seem to be the only thing making much of an effect.
4, 10, 14, 18, 21.
And they continue to do so.
Aim for the eyes.
His big, decisive swings, even with these distortions, managing to hit, stagger, and stumble this hound around as he strikes. These minor hits, these glancing strikes from the spear, these arrows seem to be having nearly no effect at all. Easy.
Well, if you close your eyes, you won't see how you die. We fought some terrible foes, but I don't like this Hound of Tindalos. We should let sleeping dogs lie. That's a little bit of courage. My eyes are still closed.
Oh, yours are still up. Give me a part 2 save.
Yes, mine are still. 19 on the die.
Ooh, what's total?
A total of a 51.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep hiding. Keep taking cover. Can you take cover and hide?
You can, yeah. With cover, you can hide. Like, you can literally make a stealth check to hide.
Yeah, so action 1, courage. Action 2, take cover. Action 3,
courage. Action 2, power. Action 3, hide.
Hey, whatever works.
Courage. You do that.
Everybody,
For you guys.
Go team.
everybody else gets courage. I get to cry.
Okay, that's a 7, right?
That's
Okay.
It's
7.
literally just your stealth versus perception. If you succeed, it loses track of you.
7 plus my stealth, which is 4.
It probably doesn't. No, you.
Where did Easy
You're
go?
hiding.
Hey Trey, do you see Easy?
I hear him.
Marius.
My eyes are closed.
So-
I think we're.
This hound is playing with time and space.
You
So
wanna do a
I
limerick?
no, I want to try to play with time and space a little bit. Could I get in the same spot as Cammy but jump on top of the table since she's below the table?
Sure.
Okay.
Honestly, you've got the table space here. You can hop on top of it and just sort of share this space with her being above.
Okay.
Like realistically, it's hard to fight effectively in the same square, but you've got plenty of space to do the furniture.
Cammy with her eyes closed is like, it's on top of the table. It's on top of me.
Because I used that as one action, I'm going to risk it and close my eyes and then take a hunted shot.
All right, so just roll 2 d20s, just raw d20s. We'll see how many hit.
No, this is the one
Oh, the
shot
one
with the
action.
focus.
Oh, right.
So
Hunter's aim.
Hunter's aim. They're both very bad.
Okay, well it probably doesn't hit then.
Yeah.
A 6 and a 3.
Yeah. Oh well, neither of those would go past the 50-50 anyway. Closes his eyes. Hunter's aim with his eyes closed.
Jumping on top of the table while doing that at the same
Went
time.
about
Not
as
great.
well as you would expect it to go from the
arrow.
description.
Yeah.
The hound here, still hasted, seems to have its attention now fully focused on Trey and MD around it. It is going to lash out with another bite towards MD. You did not grab a hold of it,
No.
so it jumps away from your grasp.
Was that movement?
It's just attacking.
Okay. I was gonna say if it's doing his leapy.
With a 31 to hit.
31 hits. Does not crit.
I hope not. Not this level.
Not even good. King's 22.
22
22
points of piercing damage from light.
MD drops.
Do a stress check. Everybody else, you can't see it, but
I
you
got
can
a
hear the
9.
cries of pain.
So even if your eyes are
You
closed.
know
I
what's
was gonna
happened.
You hear grunts
4.
and a very loud thud.
I go up by 1. I got a 9.
I also got a 9.
That's a good.
4 points of stress onto the party with a single down.
MD means that much to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Then, the hound is going to twist, and you are going to feel. You have a hero point in your hands. Are you thinking about stuff?
It says play during your turn, so
Okay.
I am thinking about stuff.
You are going to feel a claw lash out behind you as it again phases through space to the other side of you. But this
Is it movement?
It is movement.
Can I
you
poke it?
can attack of opportunity this. It cannot actually step this.
That's a 30 total.
That'll hit.
I do some cool ninja moves and poke forward. The spear somehow comes out my back where it's going, and they connect. And who knows? The point is, it takes 20 damage.
20 damage, solid.
Nice.
A good hit, but it is
Sorry, 19.
going to
One.
lash with 2 claw strikes towards you. It is still hasted. The first, a 35.
Not a crit. Full plate.
The second, a 17.
Almost got me.
It's a feast and famine in the world here. But 1 claw strike connecting with Trey for 25 points of slashing damage. Trey.
Time for a little payback. With eyes wide open, turning around, I'm going to just kind of use the corner to my advantage. The spear can only go in so many directions, I think. And
You're getting the
to,
poke and swirl reversed on you right now.
Yes.
This is counter poke and swirl technology.
And I'm going to try and poke it down from above, trying to pin it into the corner.
Okay.
I know that that's not how this works, but According to the dice, it does work. That's a 30.
30 will hit.
So that's a hit, and then follow that up as I reach. The spear's in there. I can see the angle of
It's
refraction.
The point's in there somewhere.
The angle of refraction. Now my arm's going in there as I double up for a combat grab, which will... Yeah, that'll miss. That's only a 21.
21.
And then doing it again.
Continue combat grabbing. We'll get it. If you can grab a hold of this thing, you feel like this may become dramatically more in your favor.
I don't know if a 12 on the die will be good enough.
Third
That's
attack.
a 22.
Not quite, but you do get one
I
good
do
hit
get
with
a
the
hit.
spear.
For 18. Boop.
And some. It's more than none. And your eyes are just wide open now, right?
Yeah, I'm just
Give me a
dealing with it.
Fortitude save. As we
Roll
come
20.
around to Cammy.
No, it's 28 total.
You're good. Cammy.
Yeah, put those dice down.
Cammy, hearing the familiar thud from underneath
That
the
is
table.
a familiar thought, yeah.
Yes. Immediately just kind of starts whispering to herself, just, please don't let him die. Please don't let him die. Please don't let him die. This is healing prayer. Play during your turn. Select yourself or an ally within reach. The target regains, if you're 7th level or higher, 2d8 plus 16 hit points. 16. Not too
Second level heal. Just out of
shabby. So 10 plus 16, so 26.
26.
So does that even say, is that even an action or does that just happen?
Play during your turn.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Not
that's-
even
Yes.
an action.
And
You
I
still
believe-
have, not even your action, can't miss.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, your eyes are closed.
It rules.
Wounded one an MD. as
And that
you
is from
Wake up.
Dark Hearts. Thank you.
You've been holding that one for a minute.
I saw that one. I was like, oh, that's for when somebody rolled out.
So
Okay.
you still have all 3 of your actions.
All right.
Do that 3 more times.
That's all I was thinking about for my turn, right? I was really focused
She
on
got
that
there. She
on
did
that
it.
issue.
good
Definitely. Still keeping Trey in mind, I'm going to sustain that.
Can we just like permanently install this card right here?
You can't miss sustaining, fortunately. Once the spell's on him, you're good.
Excellent. Yes, because my eyes are closed. Rest assured.
You don't want to get shredded?
I
This is
don't
verbal
want to
anyways.
see it.
This one can't miss.
Verbal still can miss, still targeting. It doesn't matter if you have a somatic component.
Oh.
It's the targeting is the part that makes it missable.
And I'm gonna try and hit it. I'm gonna try and cast needle darts.
Okay.
So
So first I need a 50-50 because you're just flinging darts
Yep.
that way.
and just sort of a panic after seeing MD going down, she's just going to fling out her arm, and a slew of darts will come out. And hold please. Thank
is-
you to.
This is the 50-50 and then you still have to roll the hit.
Yeah, but that's a 4 either way.
You need 2 consecutive good rolls.
You know
to-
what? You're
to
right. That's the
connect.
50.
But that could
I'm
be
just saying,
no,
like,
if
that's
you
a,
re-roll
it's
it.
not a high value hero
you
point
pass.
target, really.
I'm not
Like,
gonna do it.
You
On
have a
the, I
chance.
forgot that was.
If you want to throw it out there, go for it. But
50.
like, you need 2 of them.
It's
gotta fish for
just
the
a couple
bless.
D4s. I'm okay.
No, you gotta fish for the blast.
Easy.
I have been fishing. I've been fishing for years.
Okay, well, I don't know if because I heard MD fall, and I also know that very well.
I mean, you've got a very distinctive breastplate
It's like how you
clatter
know someone
when he
like
hits the
how
ground.
they walk up the stairs.
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
approach.
You've heard of hit the ground a lot of times.
And I don't know that Cammy just saved life, so I'm just gonna
Oh,
be
that's
like, just be like, I know the sound. I'm gonna open my eyes. I'm gonna be like, I know the sound of that fall. I don't have much gall. I do like to hide, but I will confide that for my friends I'll give it all, and that's gonna be it's gonna be level 4 soothe.
Woo.
This was
4d10 plus 16.
4d10 plus 16. 10. You're 10. You're a 10. And you're
We don't know what D10s look like.
I don't know anymore. So I need a little bit more. D100 works. There we
Power of friendship.
go. Okay, that's 6,
Excited to roll that one.
9, and 10. Okay, so that's 10. That's 10. That's 6. 10 and 10.
No,
is
that's a
6.
1.
Oh,
That's
I
10.
combine these to be 10. That's
Oh,
10.
that's 10.
Yeah,
Yes.
10 and 10 is 20, and then 26 plus
16.
4. Wait.
For
42 total.
20, oh, so 26 plus
42.
16.
Yeah, the 4 also goes up per level. It's 42 total.
So 42.
Nice.
And you have no stress, though, right? I don't think you.
Correct.
He has no stress.
Oh,
But,
yes.
This fight has Cammy worried, so this point will give her courage.
Oh.
Scott!
Scott!
He's pumping!
Oh my gosh.
42 health.
Thank
Back
you.
to MD.
And then that's also going to be courage.
Well, courage and a soothe with your eyes open, fearing for your friend. You are going to need to make the save against the hounds.
Yes. Yep.
Now,
14 plus fortitude, and that means plus 11.
25.
25. And is this considered a strike?
It's not a strike.
Okay.
It is a visual effect. It's looking at it.
Oh.
It can be counter performance.
Can I do that? Okay, I'm gonna,
Oh.
You can just
I'm-
look harder.
yeah.
My gosh.
I'm gonna realize, what you see isn't what you believe most of the time. I'm just gonna think. Okay, so
Stop it.
17 plus performance.
Yep.
So that's another 17. So 17 and 17 is 34.
Good.
Okay. Well, this dog's.
Oh
This
my
dog like
God.
looks out of his hands for a second.
Interdimensional horror
Wait a minute.
filtering through time and space. One guy with a fiddle.
That dog.
I saw that out of the corner of my eye. While you were drinking.
Yeah.
Put the water down the wrong. I'm going to kill Colby in real life.
That right there, that's
Literally
what happens
dying
when you look
dog.
at the hound.
No, that dog just needs friends.
That dog's sick.
Marius.
sick.
Marius is feeling very useless right now because I'm not really sure.
So I will
can
one thing. Haunted Shot combines the damage of both for resistance. So if you shoot the double and they both hit, he only gets resistance once. Because resisting that's kind of half of the point of it is high resistance creatures.
Okay.
Just do a little GM, little ranger tip.
Okay, I'm feeling potentially less useless now.
Little teen tip.
I'm
Yeah, a
still.
little friendly assistance there because that part of it does not come up terribly often.
Yeah.
But it's the same. Flurry of Blows on Monk does the same thing. Most of the one action hit twice abilities combine for the purposes of
Okay.
like hardness and damage reduction and whatever.
I will try to open my eyes a little bit to
You gonna
open
avert?
my eyes to avert my gaze.
Okay.
And then try to do the hunted
Squinting
shot.
real hard.
I guess I'll just roll one.
He wakes up.
Okay. That's a 15 plus 17 for 32.
2 hits.
And that's going to be 12, 16 points.
Okay. That does damage by itself.
Max damage.
And then if this one hits, he has no resistance at all.
Mm-hmm.
Believe.
That's a 25, which 20. No, that's 25 because I got that in. I don't remember if that hits, so I'm going to.
I don't know if we have the exact size on his
26.
AC yet.
Yeah, I'm going
We know
to
26 is hit.
really, really focus because I just really want to get some damage in here. So I'm going to
35.
re-roll this.
35 didn't
And I
crit.
hope that one has been here for a while.
He's been waiting. Oh, he's
I think
saving
that
a
might.
good one.
I think that might be from Chef Zisha.
Oh, that's
He's been cooking.
He's been
this one's
cooking.
been cooking.
He's been cooking. Let's
I guess
go.
I
Come
didn't
on.
need to re-roll the damage.
Come on,
but
Marius.
We're already there.
I know
Oh.
it went down.
Dang it.
Keep shooting.
I guess.
fair.
Yeah, I guess I
Yeah.
can do actually
Yeah,
one more.
He'll get his resistance again, but you can do another shot.
Oh.
It's just those two together combined. But you heard him with the first one. You can do damage.
Natural
Natural
20.
You
20.
can also
Oh
crit.
my
Critting
god.
him is also a great way to get
That
past the
helps.
damage
That
resistance.
helps. Okay, so
Nice.
9,
20's from
9, 13, 26, and then
Oh yeah,
10,
that's gonna get a little past the damage resistance.
28.
28.
Oh, and I don't know how space and time works for this, but he would be pinned with that critical effect.
Still
Oh
pinned.
my
Hey,
god.
you know what's an manipulate action to remove?
That's how space and time works is relevant. When an arrow is punched through him and punched through the wall, he's still stuck.
Oh my god.
That's how space and time works.
Oh my god.
You can see the distorted form of this last arrow sticking through the hound's leg and into the side of a bookshelf as you see him catch as he goes to reach out to strike the tray again, looking back at his position and what's snagging him with a bit of surprise and confusion. MD, you wake up on the floor, wounded, injured, still hearing the barking and gnashing of this hound. But you're conscious.
In a blur of movement.
Oh, I need to
MD
roll the fortitude check.
Yes.
12 plus 14, 26.
You're good because you averted.
In a blur of movement, MD kips up.
Hey.
For free action, so I stand up and he just shouts like, "Ew, Trey, duck!" as he just comes rushing up with that pick out once more. Full, just this is doing the job. An 8 and a 2 on the die. The 8 would be a total
hit.
a 24.
Hits is flat-footed.
Glad that was the first attack.
That's
not
what
the
we
second
need.
one.
Damage looks a little sad too.
It is tiring. It is 15. No, so 4, 10, 15. Yes, 7, 16. 16 damage. I load. Whoa.
A little. Strike like that doesn't do much, this creature. But pinned and injured, you're starting to see the accumulated effects of your blows upon this hound here. And as it whips back, the beast looking at this simple arrow, holding it in place, it is again going to turn in an inexplicable direction and walk what looks like back into the corner behind it. That's going to provoke.
26
That hits.
on a 6.
Fighter.
Flat-footed.
Yeah.
You don't need the flat-footed for that one to be fair.
Oh, bye.
I went on a
Still
spiritual journey.
Yeah, that's 13 damage.
It's 1 damage.
What?
Jeez.
Did it. When you get a very minor glancing blow at this creature, as it as quickly as it appears, seems to again just hop back into the space of this corner, almost as if it was shrinking down into this angle itself, and it's suddenly gone. You don't see it anywhere in the room. Correct.
Oh.
So it went into the corner,
Looked
and
like
the
it
arrow
popped.
is still there.
It did not pull the arrow out. The arrow is still embedded, now no longer distorted, lodged inside the bookcase where it was fired.
Gonna strike the corner.
50-50.
I mean, hate the
Got
bullets.
time.
Natural 20.
Great 50-50, you pass. You need attack roll.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that stinks.
Do it again.
24 to its flat-footed if it's still
Were
there.
were it flat-footed at this point, you're pretty confident 24 would strike. But your spear, too, thuds into the corner of the bookshelf. No distortion, no strange movements, no odd, incomprehensible manipulations. There is nothing there.
Then I will ready a strike.
And as you ready, the rest of you still just cowering in the center of the room under the table, MD ready to swing should this thing reappear. You hold your position for a moment. You wait. But the beast does not reemerge. Not quickly. A minute passes. And another. There's no sign of the thing's resurgence. It certainly wasn't slain. What do you do?
So it seems like we can't really get a chance to rest here.
We don't really have the time to rest, but I'm still definitely gonna wait at least a couple minutes of just not moving at all, just
At
to
the same time, you still
be
need
like,
it.
what's happening,
I think we can take the time to rest as long as we stay on guard.
and probably
Is there
gather in the center of the room, maybe
A
just to
bigger
be safe.
room. I don't think there is.
I mean,
Sold my map. They've been to a few.
if we
Bed-
go
no,
master
bed- bedroom
most
upstairs.
apparent thing that comes
Master
to mind
bedroom.
is the space
Outside.
of the attic. Or outside entirely.
Yeah, we can
Master
go
bedroom's large.
Both of those spaces giving you a lot of room to maneuver. The master bedroom is no larger than this library.
Oh.
There is space probably in the center of the room, but not much. If you wanted to find somewhere that would be safe from what Cammy has recalled about Hound Tindalos, it would be leaving the building entirely or returning to the attic.
How bad do you hurt?
I'm like halfway. Well, like just a little more than half. We can go outside to your friendly plant and feed him some bodies and get some berries. I don't know. Do we got anything?
I don't have any bodies to feed it.
What if we feed him those people we tied up?
We could do that.
Marius has been a fan of that option since the get-go.
I wasn't a fan from the beginning, but we're kind of like.
I'm honestly surprised he didn't suggest it immediately.
I'm not.
Thought I mentioned
We
it.
can give them Asa. One of them. Or both, so they don't feel sad.
I mean, we're not going to stand much of a chance.
Another minute passes as you deliberate.
Okay, we should at least go
Clear
outside and then
when
talk.
or where this thing could have gone.
Yes. Let's go outside and talk. I mean,
Logically, the door here would connect to the main foyer, but you haven't been in there yet. You came across the second door to get here. You could retrace your steps,
Could we
walking back through the whole of the manor.
How big are these windows?
You could break a window.
all right.
The windows are shuttered and some even lain over with tapestries, but I mean, from the inside, you could easily open them.
Throw a check.
Climb outside.
No, I just hand Easy a chair.
Yeah, or you can, we can shatter our way out.
There
You
are
crash
doors. We
a
don't need-
window leading back out into the Iris Hill Manor grounds, just near this bathhouse, and again in view of the growing yellow beacon over Iris Hill Manor. This pillar of pale light still reaching towards a moonless sky. Time has passed. You've been in here for hours.
Yes. So
The sun has moved and the light has started a little to fade.
either way,
Sunset will be probably 2-3 hours from now.
So yeah, now that we're out here, we can talk about if we want to sacrifice those 2 people to the plant.
God, that feels really bad.
That does, but I think we have to make some tough choices to
All
stay
right.
alive.
I didn't like them from the start.
I mean,
Either way, let's do a quick over your wounds. I'm just gonna pass him a potion of lesser healing that I have on me still. Drink this.
2d6 plus 6?
It is the potion of lesser healing is 2d8.
2d8 plus 6.
And then also drink this. It's elixir of minor life.
That's just d6.
Yeah. I have them.
2d8 and a d6 and then 6.
Are you rolling or try rolling?
You roll them.
Okay, these are the 8s. So it's 2d8s.
2d8.
So that's 9. Was it plus anything?
No,
Plus
6.
6 and then a
It's plus
d6.
6 on a
Plus
lesser.
So
5.
15.
And then
right
another
now.
d6 from the minor.
It's plus 5.
Oh, plus 5, sorry. 14.
14. So
14
14
plus
plus
6,
3.
17.
17. Okay, that's much better.
Somehow.
Don't have a lot of those left over, so
If you were to spend time out here, Cammy could continue to tend to your
I
wounds.
mean, I'm mostly full now.
Not, well, you are.
I'm at about half as well.
Me too.
So let's see.
You two need
Where
to-
are you?
I'm
You got super boosted.
fine.
Where are you?
I'm at the 75%.
So
I
it's actually now mostly you two that are the
Yeah.
most injured.
Turns out we tanked a dog.
and I'm gonna go over myself in my own wounded condition, just to get rid of it.
Fair enough.
So
You spend some time out here, maybe no longer than 30 minutes, to try and do what you can. Time is of the essence,
I think are
but
we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
you'll accomplish nothing dead. As the time passes, after half an hour, you see something odd. Much of the party, I imagine, very much on guard at this point. The horrors that have ambushed you throughout this manor are unpredictable and unknowable. Nowhere is safe, and no moment a guaranteed reprieve. The light above the manor shimmers away. So too does the light over the park across town and light on the small island. They, in the blink of an eye, are simply gone.
cool. Let's go.
We need to move. did we? How long did we spend?
30 minutes.
Was-
You could do
Did I get juice?
so for every 10 minutes. You can either get a focus point back or heal 24.
Okay.
Functionally, if you two want to heal to
Just
4, how many focus points do you want?
I mean, I have one focus point left.
So if after
So-
30 minutes,
I would only need 2.
you
You
would
need
have
to-
healed both of you. So
Mhm.
you would have taken 24. He would have taken 48.
Okay, I would not be full, so that's okay. But
Normally, we just say
Oh.
hand wavium, whatever. You spend some time and you're full. But again,
it's starting to matter.
time is of the essence.
Yeah.
If-
Okay.
If you would
that's
rather
fine.
have,
No. It's okay. I'm really close to full on that. I'm
Okay.
like 3 off. I thought that I was.
because it got me a
first.
bit over.
If you will
No,
allow
no,
me,
it's
because
closer
you've
than I
kind of
thought it was.
already at least given us an idea of what's happening after 30 minutes.
Mhm.
I think Marius might give into that little additional stress from MD going down.
It's got a little bit.
And I think I'm going to go grab one of the 2 we left tied up and bring him out to Holly.
An ankle bush, Holly.
As you are healing, and he just goes. And when he reappears, you have which? The husband or the wife?
Oh, jeez.
I'll bring the wife out for Holly.
Daleen. The sorceress brought out as a trade to this strange bush. You would see it unfurl again, kind of shift this entire bulk of you, these several bright red berries visible across the outside of its leafy form. As the voice sort of echoes in your head. More?
More.
Oh, like this.
Vine slithers forth and gently winds itself around Dalian's unconscious form.
This one, nice. Tastes like magic. Two-berry.
And hands you 2 small little bundles of these bloodberries.
I'll distribute them to the others, and then I'm gonna go back in the room and have a little snack for myself.
Aileen doesn't even awaken as this thing drains her near dry. Perhaps a mercy given her end. But you have 2 more little clusters of berries to heal for 2d8 plus 10. A fine trade.
So I'm gonna go back into the other room and do replenishing consumption for myself to get to heal what I can.
Back in the witch room?
With the husband.
Ah. Trade 1,
Yeah. Trade 1.
eat the other yourself.
No, yeah. 9, 13, or 12. 12 heat.
That is the last of these 2 travelers from afar that had come to Ustalav to aid Melisen in her cult.
It's almost like this is the price that you pay for having a powerful ally who was also an undead.
Not only is it difficult for him to resist the call itself, given the intensity of this situation, the mortal peril you found yourselves in, who could blame him? Certainly not Chef Zija. Gotta make sure everyone's got one.
Thank you.
There you go, Marius. Take one back. A feast.
Make sure everyone's got one. Where's mine?
A feast.
Where's my hug?
This is very topical. Rending swipe. So much blood.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Okay.
accurate. That's thematically appropriate.
Topical.
There you go.
Not
Positive
happy.
reinforcement.
Marius would arrive near the end of your healing simply with 2 handfuls of berries and suddenly looking much better.
Marius. MD had not been paying attention when Marius walked off, obviously.
We've been in here for a while.
We're gonna have a talk about this later.
Let's go to the basement. I'll deal with it then.
I'm gonna just take one of the bunches of berries.
You earned it too.
I'll just lead the way.
I'm gonna actually go ahead and eat it.
2d8 plus 10.
2d8 plus 10.
It's a fair trade.
I'll probably give the other one the easy and at least a hold. You can take it, figure out whether you want it or save it.
Thanks. Good suggestion.
With that, the group of you climb back through the window, returning to the trap door revealed in the manor's library, leading to an unknown depth below. Lifting the trap door would reveal a very short ladder that leads down to a landing atop a stone staircase carved into the ground beneath Iris Hill itself. Where it goes, well, are you heading down?
Yeah,
Who's on point?
me. Because if something's at the bottom of the ladder, I got a pokey stick.
The staircase is relatively short before terminating in a simple door. As you open this first door, you reveal a small, mundane room, a wine cellar. The shelves neatly stacked with bottles of glass and clay, tiny kegs, decanters, mugs, crystal goblets. The things to entertain parties of a wide spectrum, from fine noble galas to servants simply drinking away their eve. There's a single door to your right, leads out of the cellar further into whatever basement this place has.
Well, I'll wait for everyone to get down off the ladder and then open that door.
A passageway opens before you, leading straight through the stone. You can see some 30 feet ahead that it opens up into a larger chamber, but first, there is an iron-barred door on your left. A dank and grimy subterranean cell, empty aside from two heavy wooden pallets and two matching pairs of heavy iron manacles mounted into the wall above them.
Just pretty much ignoring that. I don't see anything noteworthy, and I'll just walk past it.
The chamber beyond is an interconnecting room. A set of massive stone doors stand to your left, inscribed with a seal that you would all recognize simply from the time you've spent in Thrushmoor since you rewoke in Briarstone Asylum. The crest of the Lowell's family. A passageway ahead of you continues yet further to what looks like a storage room of some kind that may connect to further depths, but this intervening chamber here is interesting. The walls have been adorned with pale yellow tapestries. On the easternmost wall, a tapestry has been painted over with a strange, whirling, three-pronged yellow symbol. One that some of you have seen before. Some varied circumstances, most prominently blazoned upon the chest of the strange keeper of the sign that you had faced back in the old Pharesman chapel. There is a lantern, lit, left on the ground here, illuminating this room and some of its nearby adjoining passageways. This chamber seemingly having been converted to a small shrine, a place of worship for whatever it is Melisen and her cult have dedicated themselves to. You are still recalling knowledge, I presume.
Yes.
And this is the first time you've been presented with one of these symbols, and a reasonable amount of time to really look at it. It's not a, necklace on a cultist you catch a flash of in the middle of a fight. It's not a glowing beacon on the chest of a demon intent on slaying you. It's just painted across this tapestry. What is your religion?
12.
You would know that this icon here is the emblem of a name that you've heard before. It all comes together in your head as you look upon it. This is the emblem of Zamindor.
Marius, do you recognize that?
Do I recognize that? Beyond, I think I've seen it before.
You have... The cultist that attacked you in the street wore this on pendants. But you feel like there is some other connection there. It's at the edge of your mind. It's oddly familiar, but you can't place what.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't recognize it, but I sort of do. It's hard to grasp, you know.
That's
It
because
just feels familiar,
It's
but
his emblem, Marius. It's
oh,
Zamindor.
so now you this kind of appeared, and yet somehow now you also know.
I know that.
So he's just kind of working. It is just kind of working its way into us. You've never heard of him before, so now you're able to know that it's a symbol of him.
Maybe I did know.
That's fair.
It wasn't always just Melisen's cult. We were all pretty integral. We may have all known it at some point.
Is Zamindor like the joining ritual, or is Zamindor the memory thing that we did earlier? Are they all connected, or are they different? I don't. Like, is this just Malisen's plan different than Laos's?
I don't know.
I feel like Zamindor is whatever this. All I know is Zamindor is this symbol, the joining is the Yellow King, and the Count is off doing his own thing with a book that he traded our memories for. He pretty much killed who he used to be for a book.
Yeah.
So,
Zamindor isn't the Yellow King,
as far as we know,
is he?
I don't know. It's your area of expertise.
Should we destroy this shrine?
No.
It's not like a focal point for the ritual or something.
I wouldn't think so.
I feel like if it was, people would be in here.
I feel like the Stella is.
Well, it could be something behind the door.
This imposing stone door to the west is clearly significant. The slabs are massive, but look to be mounted in a way that, while it takes some effort, they do slide aside and can be opened. The crest of the Lowell's family indicates that this was a place of prominence to all of them. Possibly going back long before there was even a cult in Thrushmore.
Let's take a look.
Can you move it?
Yeah, I can move it.
You shift aside the heavy stone to reveal an elongated subterranean hall decorated throughout with finely wrought Pharasman symbols, culminating in a 7-foot-high relief of the goddess's face on the southern wall to your left, filling near all the space between the floor and the ceiling. Against the other walls, whose surfaces are riddled with myriad burial recesses, are 7 sarcophagi, 4 sealed and 3 uncovered.
They're like family crypt, I guess?
Yes.
Near the southern end of the room, bottom left sarcophagus, are 2 figures. One is the naked body of a woman laying across the top of the sarcophagus with a device attached to her. 2 large metal plates are clamped together onto the side of her head, connected with a series of strangely rigid tubes and pipes, one of which extends out to the side of her chest, just at the bottom of her ribs, where you can see a trickle of blood running down from where the tube pierces into her flesh. The second pipe flares out like the mouth of a brass horn, extending up from the center of this entire contraption, mounted up on her chest. And leaning over her is a figure very different. One drawn about in bright blue and pale yellow fashions, unlike anything you've seen on Galarian before. There's a massive wrap around the entirety of this figure's head, obscuring all but a slot across their eyes, nose, and a bit of their forehead as the figure turns to look across you quizzically with blank eyes and a four-pointed blue sigil seemingly tattooed onto their forehead. Yellow, tattered ribbons just extend out from seemingly random places across this creature's garb as they seem surprised by your intrusion, but do not appear to be immediately hostile.
If you could wait just a moment, please. I am finishing with an experiment. Perhaps we can all learn something here today.
What is the purpose?
Allow me to show you.
And the figure turns back towards this device and touches a couple of small little cranks and dials, turning its back to you, before reaching for another exposed little tube and sort of bending it up to be almost pointing towards their face as they lean down a bit.
What do you know of the Yellow King?
Vague mentionings.
They hold up a hand. The creature is speaking at the prone figure on the table at this tube. And you hear a sound, a crackling, almost like a static, emanate from the flared horn at the center of the device before a voice rolls forth, robotic, static, like an old radio that isn't quite in tune. A cult, long forgotten, once suspected by the church to have infiltrated Thrushmore shortly before the first vanishing. The church was dispatched to handle it. None returned, and none were found. Little concrete is known about the cult's belief or the king itself. If it is a deity or a figurehead, I can speak not, but it is heresy of the highest order, irregardless. This figure standing nods. Very well, very well. You were dispatched here then to deal with a similar heresy? Crackles again. No. Something is amiss in Thrushmore, surely. We believe the Count may be involved. We were sent simply to investigate the doings of Count Lowells and those directly under him.
I see. Very well, then. Did your investigation into this count bear any fruit, so to speak?
Crackle again. Before going silent. No words come forth.
A strong-willed soul, this one, even in death. Very well. I appreciate your patience.
As the figure turns back around again to face all of you.
Welcome back. It has been some time.
Another person who knows us.
Indeed. I believe I knew you when near last you knew yourselves.
Something about the oasis.
Indeed. You do not recognize me. Understandable. I thought perhaps, given what I have heard from Melisen, that simply seeing my visage may trigger some kind of recollection. But nothing at all.
Hasn't worked on everyone.
Unfortunately, not.
This is interesting. Well, to be brief, I have many names on as many planes, but for old friends here, you may call me Wyrelai. Indeed.
Well, is this how you talk to the dead?
Yes. This device allows us to ask questions sometimes. You do not need magic or divinative spellcraft to question the soul when the physical body has all of the answers that are needed. The nooks and crannies, the rivets of the physical brain itself in mortals hold all of one's life and this simply reads them. Sometimes still the soul resists, but it interferes. Still, there was some knowledge to be had, less than I had hoped. This was a servant of the church that was sent down to Thrushmore with a retinue to investigate, as she said, the count of his doings.
Is the Amari?
We found her.
I believe that
Inquisitor?
was her name in life, yes.
Did you try to get information from Namira? Did you do anything to her?
I have not, no. Namira was still living. This device is disruptive to biological function. It would not work on a living victim. Well, not one who would be living for long. Please. I have heard some of your interactions. You are here, and I believe you do not really know why. I am a purveyor of knowledge. I have dedicated my life in search of it. That you have gone through so much and come so far to be here tells me that at some level, you are much the same. Let us talk. We'll answer any questions that you have.
What's the joining?
Straight to the point. This will be some explanation.
Could you do this the fast version of
The
it?
last time we were talking to someone, they were stalling for time for
Yeah.
Melisen.
So can you do the
So I'm
quick-
going to ask you a question before his. Are you going to stop us from going to kill Melisen?
Of course.
Okay, then that makes this very short and brief.
Given the situation, I cannot simply allow you to interfere with Malisen's attempt at the joining, but I see no reason that I could not enlighten you beforehand. One of the greatest and noblest pursuits of life is the sharing of knowledge. I do not seek to waste your time, simply to enlighten you, and I do not believe that I would be able to stand against you alone. I will not slow you down much, but I will try. It serves two purposes. One, perhaps I am successful. Unlikely, but possible. And two, I need to return home in. There are things I must tend to with what has taken place here. In terms of Xavarius, especially regarding things that have happened to you. There are studies to be done, and a death in battle here is the quickest way for me to return.
To return where?
To Lane, my homeland. As he looks across you, Wyrelai, this figure here, is unsettling. They're close enough to human to really trigger that
Uncanny
revulsive
Valley.
response, that uncanny valley. Her proportions are wrong. Her face, even what little you can see, is off. It just looks wrong.
She has 4 fingers on one
It's-
hand and 5 on the other.
It's the same trigger as almost an unsettling, wrinkled mannequin standing before you. But as you look at it, there's more than just that. It's an odd familiarity that takes all of you a little bit to put your finger on exactly what it is. Because no memory sparks forth. Nothing springs to the depths of your mind about your interactions you may have once had with this enigmatic Wyrelai. But still, you recognize the shape. You recognize the form. You know you've seen a figure like this before. The Tatterman. It is here we will end today's session. Both because it is time, and this gives you a
cliffhanger.
week to think of what you would want of Wyrelai.
To close the door.
the dead.
what they might know, what they might be able to tell you, or if you simply wish to strike them down. The way she speaks seems a little different to Rumatri. Rumatri surely was there to waste as much of your time as possible. But Lyrelai seems almost excited to share. Truly enthusiastic about spreading what knowledge she has, should you want it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. Though our adventures right now are complete, here at the UGT show, we have plenty more these days. First of all, tomorrow, our Sunday show, kicking off at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have a new episode of our Abomination Vaults Dungeon Delve, with that guy sitting in the same chair, being a weird, illiterate dog.
I'm the pious puppy,
He's
and
the
I have a
pious
great
puppy.
time.
Aren't all dogs illiterate?
No. As a matter of fact, most dogs can read. Mine can't.
I don't think dogs can read.
Abomination Vaults headed up and with a player cast of a lot of the faces you might recognize from our Age of Ashes adventures if you've been missing the likes of Nick and Jen and Dirt playing a completely insane character.
This is the insane one. The pious puppy's very sane.
You know, that's honestly fair. Trey's pretty cracked also. I guess you kind of...
That's this whole party.
Well, I mean, we did wake up in an asylum for a reason.
I miss Nick.
The reasons that our minds were sold and we were traded for a book. But like, you know, like it's...
No, the
I
great
miss
thing
Nick
about
and Jen.
the great thing about playing a Null Paladin is I have to be lawful good. Like, it's not a choice.
See, Paladin, you have
I
to
have
do it.
to be.
He's
I
channeling the
can't-
Rur energy
Yeah,
back.
I can't lie. I can't steal. I can't create undead.
Oh, Saren Ray.
Yeah.
You beautiful goddess, you.
All the things. you
Check
like
that
to do.
out. And our newest returning show on Wednesdays. We've got a weekday, we've got an evening show. It starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's Starfinder. It's Secrets Between the Stars Season 2. With like 3/5 of these idiots out here doing weird space stuff. Last time, I was running the show because our Arcadis has not been feeling fantastic this week, and I watched these idiots fight a vending machine for
Yeah,
like
dude.
40 minutes. It was like
Missed that. I had to go to bed
they found Skittles. It was
like an adult.
that's the kind of energy they're bringing here. Look, we got spooky horror, Lovecraft, Strange Aeons. We got Dungeon Delve, Abomination Vaults. We got pure unfiltered insanity. Secrets Between the Stars, Season 2.
It's funny how that's the one that
That's
has
the
the
one
insanity.
that, well, that's the party is insane. The characters are insane in Strange Aeons. I got a healthy mix in Strange Aeons, I suppose. But beyond that, this isn't even the end of the Strange Aeons content we're going to have today, technically, because we're about to record a post show, like UGT does for every episode that we put up now, and those go out to everyone supporting us on Patreon or Coffee, dealer's choice, $5 a month. Gets a little bit of post show discussion, insight into the episode, general Survivor fan cast, or unrelated shenanigans, you know, whatever the hell they turn out to be. Sometimes we rant about absolutely nothing for 40 minutes.
The past few
The true
episodes,
insanity.
we've done really good about talking
We've
about the
actually
episode.
talked about the episode,
Yes.
at least on Strange Aeons, the last couple of times, which we usually do at least somewhat. So peek into the brains of the players, some behind-the-scenes stuff. I have a little bit of interesting stuff in here for this one that I want to talk about. It's going to be pretty neat. And that's just as a thank you to everyone out there who's supporting us with that little extra Patreon and copy. That really, along with the hero points and everything that's coming in during the show, helps us keep doing what we do. Helps us, you know, upgrade our tech, get our audio a little better, get all these shows running. We got 3 a week now. We're doing business. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, we'll see you here at the UGT show tomorrow for A-Bomb Vaults. Good night, everyone. Stay safe. Stay safe.